YouTube, welcome to the Dreadedconservative show. You don't get to hear the intro because I only did it on Rumble. Go watch Rumble. This is live on Rumble. You're watching it in the future on YouTube. But let's get into the show, guys. The 15th. Today is the 18th. So the other day commemorated the first day of Latin American. Oh, wait. No, that's not what it's called. It's called National Hispanic Heritage Month. National Hispanic Heritage Month. They couldn't pick a month, so they got September 15th to October 15th. So they get two halves of 2 months, which is 1 month, but it's in the middle. I don't know why they picked that. Maybe we can find out when we read this little article right here. Each year, let's read this article. Each year, Americans observe National Hispanic Heritage Month. I don't think most Americans observe it. I don't think most Americans even know it exists. But from September 15th to October 15th, by celebrating the histories, cultures, and contributions of American citizens whose ancestors came from Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, and Central and South America. Central America is not a real thing, by the way. The observation started in 1968 as Hispanic Heritage Week under President Lyndon Baines Johnson. That's the guy with the Model Cities program that put everybody on welfare. He said he's going to keep those chains for the next 600 years. That guy. Of course, that communist gave us a freaking, started up all this trend of having a month for everything. We got to have a month for everything now. But we can't have Men's History Month. We can't have White History Month, but we got all the other history months. Thanks, Lyndon Johnson, commie. And was expanded by President Ronald Reagan. Ronnie, in 1988 to cover a 30-day period starting on September 15th and ending on October 15th. It was enacted into law on August 17th, 1988 on the approval of Public Law 100-402. The day of September 15th is significant because it is the anniversary of independence for Latin American countries, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. I almost sound like I'm saying a racial slur when I say that country. In addition, Mexico and Chile celebrate their Independence Days on September 16th and September 18th. Oh, today is Chile Independence Day. Nice. Respectively, also, Columbus Day, or Dia de la Raza, which is October 12th, falls within this 30-day period. But they hate Columbus Day. You know they're trying to change that. They're trying to get rid of Columbus Day and make it, Indigenous Peoples Day or some crap like that. Anyway, executive and legislative documents. I don't care about that. About this site, I don't care about that. Let's look at some pictures. They got like some pictures. We got some Latinas. I know we got a lot of Latinas. We got a lot of Latinas in the chat. You know, a lot of Latinas. And so shout out National Hispanic Heritage Month. And that's all the time I have for that. We won't talk about that again for the rest of the month, I promise. But what's up, Rumble? How's everybody doing today? Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. All right. Now, let's get into the real news. The Biden stuff. What they want to hide, what they want to distract you with the fake alien story, which is totally bogus. If you didn't know it was bogus, as soon as you saw that little thing, then you're not paying enough attention. But we got a lot of Biden news. We got Trump dates, Trump updates, Trump dates in the rapid fire news segment so that we're not just bogged down with Biden news. But, we need to know what's going on. So, Joe Biden, impeachment inquiry, good or bad? Good or bad? If we impeach Biden, what happens? Does Kamala step in as president? Is this just Kevin McCarthy being an op to impeach Biden because they don't want to run Biden against Trump again in 2024? They don't want to have him be the candidate. The man's almost dead. He's walking around like a zombie. So I don't think they want him up there. And I think McCarthy and this impeachment thing is just a sham to get Biden out of there before the elections so that they can run Big Mike? Who they going to run? Big Mike? They're going to run Gavin Newsom so that the Pelosi crime family can be up in there. They're going to run who's some other names that we've heard? Dang old Hillary again? Killary? They're going to put Killary up there? I don't think they're going to put Killary up there again. The Clintons murdered a guy. Like, that should be public knowledge. But Who they gonna put up? Is Kamala just gonna be shooed in as the first woman of color? She don't know what color she is. She don't know if she's Indian or black or Asian. She's all of them. She's a hodgepodge. But let's read about this from ABC News. What to know about the House GOP's Biden impeachment inquiry. McCarthy directed 3 House committees to launch a ramped-up investigation. Speaker Kevin McCarthy has announced he was ordering the House Republicans to launch an impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden's alleging a culture of corruption, the Biden crime family, involving him and his family. McCarthy had signaled the impeachment inquiry for weeks, but his announcement Tuesday comes at a time when he is facing mounting pressure from GOP hardliners who threaten to oust him if he doesn't follow through on a Biden impeachment. While Democrats claim the effort is extremist, McCarthy claims the move is not political, but aimed instead at getting answers the American people deserve. I think we got a lot of the answers already, but they kind of buried it. The White House is adamant that the president did nothing wrong and that there is no evidence to suggest otherwise after investigation into any relationship between him and Hunter Biden's business dealings. ABC News is breaking down all of the layers in this impeachment inquiry, the precedent set in previous such efforts, and what the path ahead for McCarthy looks like. What is an impeachment inquiry and how does it work? An impeachment inquiry is an investigation into possible wrongdoing, meaning an inquiry is a step towards potential impeachment. So he's not yet getting impeached. They're looking into it. They might pull up a dang impeachment. Typically, the House Judiciary Committee conducts an impeachment inquiry, a process that can include public hearings and subpoenas for information and documents. When the inquiry is over, articles of impeachment are prepared and must be approved by a majority of the committee. The House then debates those articles of impeachment with a majority vote needed to pass each article. From there, the Senate holds a trial on the articles of impeachment. The Senate has the ability to convict and remove someone from office. What's behind this impeachment inquiry? Republicans have accused President Biden of profiting from the foreign business ventures of his son, Hunter Biden, Shell Corp son. His son is a Shell Corp. We know that. While he served as vice president from 2009 to 2017, Hunter Biden has been the subject of several investigations over the last few years, and none has presented substantial evidence supporting McCarthy's claims. Excuse me. He said Tuesday that House Republicans, it's this nicotine thing in my mouth making me hiccup. It's too strong right now. He said Tuesday that House Republicans uncovered serious and credible allegations into President Biden's conduct. Taken together, these allegations paint a picture of a culture of corruption, said McCarthy. These are allegations of abuse of power, obstruction, and corruption and warrant further investigation by the House of Representatives, McCarthy told reporters. Most of the Republicans' accusations are centered on Hunter Biden, but they have accused the president of corruptly influencing Hunter's business ventures to enrich himself. We know when Biden went up on the thing, he said, I told him they ain't going to get no more money if they don't fire the prosecutor. And son of a bitch, they fired the prosecutor. Like Biden admitting to quid pro quo, and then they impeach Trump over quid pro quo, even though it was a perfect phone call. The phone call was perfect. One of the most perfect phone calls ever made. Crazy. The 5-year investigation into Hunter Biden has not produced accusations of financial crimes beyond failure to pay taxes. When it comes to impeachment, the Constitution lists treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors as grounds. The Constitution has a broad definition of high crimes and misdemeanors that is deliberately open-ended and driving legislation action. So it talks about the timeline. Why is McCarthy doing this now? Probably because elections are coming up. What will the inquiry allow the House to do? Hopefully impeach Biden. Hopefully, I don't know. I'd rather see Biden stay in there and run against Trump again so we get a rematch. Because in the UFC, when you ever have a slightly contested bout, you know, like when Sean O'Malley drops Aljamain Sterling and Aljamain Sterling rolls around on the ground and the ref ends the fight, and he says, well, it's because I was just trying to avoid getting hit in the face. But I was alert and I was aware. So he contests it. What do we want? We want a dang rematch. We want conclusive results. So I want to see the rematch. I hope they don't impeach Biden and he stays up there. You know, I'm tired of these. And we knew this was going to happen when they impeached Trump. Everybody said, oh, they're setting the precedent. Now people are just going to impeach everybody whenever they don't want them in there. That's not good. That's a waste of our taxpayer dollars for holding these hearings and our government wasting time doing all this nonsense. Just let Biden stay in there and run against Trump again in 2024. Let's instead focus on fortifying the elections and let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Let's see it. That's what I want to see. Let's see what the AP's got to say about it. Biden brushes off House impeachment inquiry. He says Republicans want to shut down the government. So we're going to talk about this. We got guys like Hakeem Jeffries saying that the GOP currently is in a civil war amongst the GOP, and that the government's talking about shutting down. Good. Shut it down. We can have a writer's strike because these writers in Hollywood ain't doing nothing. We can have a government strike, shut down the government because y'all ain't doing nothing. Fire them all. You're fired. Fired. You're fired. Just fire them all. We need a king up in there. Get us a Christian king. Get rid of all these dang fools. Biden brushes off House impeachment inquiry, says Republicans want to shut down the government from AP. President Joe Biden late Wednesday brushed off the House Republicans' impeachment inquiry, saying the way he sees it, they launched the investigation against him because they want to shut down the federal government. Biden, speaking at a Democratic fundraiser in Virginia, said that instead of being concerned about the probe, I'm focusing on the things the American people want me focused on. Like what, bruh? You're not focusing on the border. You're not focusing on inflation. Yeah, you did the Inflation Reduction Act. Oh, the greatest thing Joe Biden did, the Inflation Reduction Act. Yeah. That said in the studies on it, it said this is going to increase inflation for the next 3 years, and then it'll start to reduce inflation. Oh, you reduced the cost of prescription drugs? You mean the ones that Trump reduced the cost of, and then you came in and you vetoed that, or you signed your executive order to cancel that, and then you just re-signed it so that you could take the claim that you lowered the price of insulin and crap? Whatever, bruh. Whatever, bruh. The president's remarks were the first since Speaker Kevin McCarthy announced the launch of a Biden impeachment inquiry, while the Republican House leader is also struggling to shore up votes to fund the government and prevent a federal shutdown. The best I can tell is they want to impeach me because they want to shut down the government, Biden said. He also made a reference to Representative Marjorie Greene, not Marjorie Taylor Greene. We don't call women by 3 names. They get 2 names. Take your husband's name. Representative Marjorie Greene, Republican of Georgia, a top ally of his chief rival heading into the 2024 election, Donald Trump. The first day she was elected, the first thing she wanted to do was impeach Biden, he said. Look, I've got a job. Look, I've got a job. Biden told his audience, I've got to deal with issues that affect the American people every single solitary day. That's how Biden talks. I can't do a good Biden impression, but I can whisper and then I can yell, which is kind of like Biden-esque. Hold on, what's chat saying? Nice to see your eyes are doing better. Yeah, I can see, but look. Can you see this? I don't know if you could see it on the camera. You see all the like scales around my nose? It's still puffy and red, but at least I can see now. Senile? No, see now. Biden is senile. McCarthy's sudden decision to direct an impeachment inquiry into Biden over the business dealings of his son Hunter and the family finances has won over even the most reluctant Republicans, with some GOP lawmakers pushing for swift action while others expected to drag into the 2024 election year. McCarthy opened and closed a private meeting Wednesday of House Republicans, justifying his reasoning for the inquiry sought by former President Trump. How long is this? It's pretty long. Movement is politically pivotal. One for the embattled McCarthy, whose job is being targeted by Trump's right flank allies. He's already signaled potential charges of abuse of power, corruption, and obstruction for possible articles of impeachment. There's a lot of accusations out there. you just want the answers to, McCarthy told reporters. And I agree with that. I just don't know if impeachment is the best option, because then doesn't Kamala get in? And I don't know about McCarthy. I seen him say a lot of stuff that I agree with, and I do want answers to this Burisma stuff, but I feel like we've already done investigations into it, and then it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter what the investigation turns out. So there's when they were questioning the dude, I forget his name, some Russian or some Middle Eastern guy's name. But when they were questioning him, he says Hunter Biden would often call his father, and then he would call it DC. And then later on in the questioning, he says they say Hunter Biden left and he got on the phone with DC and he said, "You need to help me out with this." And then they asked him, "Well, does DC, in your opinion, imply his father or DC?" And he says it just means DC, maybe like a lobbyist group or something. But it's like you just said earlier that when he's talking to DC, he's talking to the big guy. The big guy. Who's the big guy? Well, multiple people referenced the big guy as Joe Biden. Oh, the jsurbanadventures going up. Starborn, I saw Mr. Mad, you commented, you said JS is the best show host with dreadlocks this side of heaven. I'm the only show host with dreadlocks this side of heaven. What are you talking about? That's an underhanded insult. Or it's an amazing compliment. There might be some black guys with dreadlocks, but I think I'm the only white conservative show host with dreadlocks. The dreaded conservative. So McCarthy, is he a good guy? Is he looking for answers? Or is this an op? Is this an op to get Kamala in there? I don't know. Let's look at what NPR is saying about it. Republicans run a big risk with impeachment. We do run a big risk with impeachment. Let's see if they're going to get into what I was just saying. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy announced this week he is directing the chamber he runs to open an impeachment inquiry. But for what exactly? He claimed the GOP investigations paint a picture of cultural corruption. I've already read all this. In reality, though, to this point, there has been no evidence that the president has benefited financially from any of his son Hunter's business dealings. Bullcrap. And as prior impeachments have shown, Republicans risk a potential backlash because of perceived overreach. Oh, but it's okay when Democrats do 3. That's not overreach. When Democrats impeach Donald Trump 3 times and indict him 4 times, yeah, that's not overreach. But Republicans are overreach. I didn't want to call you second best. I'm not the second best. I know. He said I stink because of my dreadlocks. Listen, buddy. If you know that you can't wash dreadlocks with standard shampoos or else you'll get mildew in your dreadlocks, then you don't get stinky dreadlocks. If you use the proper shampoo, then your dreadlocks don't stink, and then you just don't get them wet. When you're not washing them, you wear a bag over your head and you don't get them wet. If they don't get wet, it doesn't smell like wet dog. If you don't wash your hair with shampoos that have residues in them, then you don't get that mold smell in your hair and your dreadlocks don't stink. So see, he's just talking about something he doesn't even know what he's talking about. I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I digress. The right wing of the House GOP, which is increasingly the mainstream of the conference, has McCarthy in something of a vice. The California Republican only has a 4-seat majority, and he has had to continuously throw bones. He's throwing some bones to those on the right who can torpedo virtually anything he wants to do. And they don't exactly have much interest in functioning federal government in its current state. Impeachment, though, is a mighty big bone, and it's clearly not enough for McCarthy's most extreme members. The government is set to run out of funding by the end of the month and is careening once again towards a shutdown. And despite McCarthy's impeachment posture, Representative Matt Gaetz of Florida floated the idea of Matt Gaetz is cool. He seems kind of slimy. He seems like a movie villain. I don't know. He's kind of like just greasy and kind of creepy looking, you know? I could see him in like a Joker movie as like I was going to say as the villain, but I guess the Joker would be the movie villain in the Joker movie. So he would be like an apprentice. But same thing with Mitt Romney. By the way, Mitt Romney's not running again in Utah. Hallelujah. Hopefully we don't get some Democrat in there. Um, Matt Gaetz floated the idea of motion to oust him if McCarthy doesn't follow through on slashing spending the way he and others on the right want. If you want to file a motion to vacate, then file the effing motion, McCarthy said at a closed-door House GOP. That's not proper language. Didn't they get mad at Trump because he didn't talk right? He didn't talk POC enough? You shouldn't be cussing like that, Mr. McCarthy. That's not appropriate language. All right. McCarthy acknowledged his peak when talking to reporters. I showed frustration in here, he said, because I am frustrated. Frustrated with some people in the conference. The risk. All right, this is a lot of stuff. The risk. Hunter Biden was indicted this week on gun charges. The special counsel in charge of the case says the younger Biden lied on a federal forum that he had not been using drugs at the time of applying for the gun. He's being charged for possession of that weapon. Side note, sidebar here. When you are for like legalizing medical marijuana and legalizing and having marijuana cards, and you go in there and you sign a form, and the form asks, when you go in and you buy a gun and you fill out that paperwork that says, have you ever used drugs before? And you say no, but yet you have a card and you're registered into a system that says that you buy and you purchase and you consume marijuana, okay? What you don't realize, maybe, hopefully you do realize it, is that you just lied on a federal form and they know it. They know it because your medical marijuana thing is a state thing, but federally, marijuana is still considered a narcotic. I know Biden the other week was talking about lowering it down. It's still going to be a federal narcotic. It's just going to be a lower schedule. But when you have one of those cards and you're purchasing marijuana, the government knows. Okay. And then when you go buy a gun and you say, no, I don't do drugs. I don't get engaged with drugs. That's a federal form. Your state thing lets you smoke weed, but then they clash. And guess what? You're going to get all your guns taken away. So if you got a dang pot card and you're going to go buy a gun, you might want to lose it in a boating accident. I'm just saying. Okay, enough with the sidebar. But yeah, Biden lied on federal forms. He got pictures of him holding guns with a crack pipe in the other hand and an underage prostitute next to him. Like, come on, bruh. Come on, bruh. More charges related to Hunter Biden's tax and his business dealings could be coming soon. The points of the possibility that there could be a trial in a presidential election year when his father is running for re-election based. Good. Whatever, even if we don't get him impeached, I don't think it's going to stick. Even if they don't get him impeached, put him through the same rigmarole. Put him through the same bull crap that you put Trump through during the election year. I'm fine with that. I just don't want Kamala to get in there. On one hand, it could all serve to muddy the waters and give former President Trump a talking point against President Biden, as his MAGA allies on Capitol Hill are hoping. There's also a tremendous risk, arguably more risk for Republicans, especially if people see the GOP as going too far. That's a double standard. The GOP brand already isn't great with high unfavorable ratings, and impeachments can serve to benefit the president being charged or investigating because their base rallies around them. What kind of base is rallying around Joe Biden? You don't have dreadlocks. You have caveman hair. I'm glad you got the hygiene game on lock. I saw a lady on TV cut her dreads and they were kicking off dust. Yeah, if you have dreadlocks and you wash your hair with like Pantene Pro V or Suave or whatever regular shampoo, it'll start to smell like mold. That's because those shampoos have residues in them, and the residues stay in your dreadlocks. And so you'll get basically soap scum or mildew. You know, the green stuff that you get around your drain in the bathtub? That's from the soaps you use. The residues stay and they collect, and it makes mildew and soap scum. And so if you cut somebody who has blonde dread in half, if they've been using regular shampoo and you look inside of it, it will be green and it'll have soap scum and mildew inside of the dread from the shampoo. So those shampoos, you have to use a special. You can just use. I just use Dr. Bronner's 12-in-1 natural hemp shampoo. But if you use anything like Pantene Pro V, anything that makes your hair feel slick and smooth and shiny, that's because it has residues and it's not natural. Your hair is not naturally supposed to feel like that. When it makes it feel super soft and smooth and smell fresh and floral and all that stuff, that's not natural. And if you put that stuff in dreadlocks, you'll get soap scum and it stinks. And that's what people smell when they smell dreadlocks. But I've never used any type of shampoo like that on my dreads. So they don't stink. They don't smell like anything. You can ask anybody who's ever been around me. Um, Now the months following did not. Okay, enough of that. So yes, they're trying to impeach. They're going to try to impeach Biden. Hakeem Jeffries says the GOP is in a civil war. We'll read a little bit about this. Is there like a video we can watch? House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries on Sunday repeatedly referred to House Republicans as engaging in a civil war. Speaking on ABC's This Week, the New York Democrat said, "Let's be clear." House Minority Leader. I thought he was a Republican. I guess he's a Democrat. New York Democrat. Let's be clear. House Republicans are in the middle of a civil war. Jeffries told host Jonathan Karl, civil war has the following attributes: chaos, dysfunction, and extremism. Or just, based people versus debased people. The House Republican Civil War is hurting hardworking American taxpayers and limiting our ability to be able to solve problems on their behalf. It's unfortunate, but as House Democrats, we're going to continue to try and find common ground with the other side of the aisle. Given how small the Republican majority is in the House, Speaker Kevin McCarthy is likely to need a unified GOP caucus to be able to avoid potentially devastating government shutdown at the end of the month. Let's go. Shut it down. We urge our Republican colleagues in the House to join us, stop fighting each other, end the reckless, reprehensible Republican Civil War, and let's get on the business of the American people. There ain't going to be a Republican Civil War. It's going to be MAGA versus everybody. Jeffries also declined to say whether House Democrats would help bail out McCarthy if members of his caucus moved to oust him from his position. That would be interesting to see, because if the Democrats step up to save McCarthy while Republicans are trying to get McCarthy out, what does that tell us about McCarthy? In that moment presents itself, we'll cross the bridge when we get to it, he said. Following him on This Week, Representative Nancy Mace, Republican of South Carolina, expressed dismay over Jeffries' repeating use of the term civil war. I find it a little bit hypocritical that this is the divisive language that he used in his interview, she told Karl. But Mace declined to say whether she would support McCarthy if Representative Matt Gaetz or someone else attempts to oust McCarthy. We'll see how it turns out, Mace said. So they're saying the Republicans are in a civil war, government shutdown incoming, potential Biden impeachment incoming. Meanwhile, what's our boy Hunter up to? What's Hunter getting into? Let's see what little old Hunter's doing. When you buy a gun, that form also has more options for gender than just male or female. So does that form have any clout at all? No, I'm not saying it does, but I am saying that they can use that against you. They can use that against you. And if you put something like, if you wrote on that form, there's only two genders, they might say that that's hate speech one day, that's stochastic terrorism, and then they might come after you for your gun. So the form doesn't have clout in our eyes, but in the government's eyes, that form is everything. That form gonna get Hunter Biden locked up because he lied on it. No, he won't get locked up. Prediction, spoiler alert, Hunter Biden's not going to jail. I'm not like the stupid Democrats who keep saying Trump is going to jail. Trump's going to jail. Trump's going to jail. Trump's going to jail every single time he gets impeached. I'm not that dumb. I know that Trump is not going to jail. He's not going to see a jail cell ever. And I also know that Hunter Biden's not going to jail. These people are above our pay grade. They have protections we don't have. Now, if I got caught with a gun, I'm not allowed to have guns due to my past, my record. I'm not allowed to have guns. If I got caught with a gun, I would be in jail. I'd be going to jail for sure. But if Hunter Biden's smoking crack with an underage Chinese prostitute and a gun, he gonna be all right. He ain't going to jail. Let's watch a clip. It's clip time. Oh, hold on. So the plea agreement, the sweetheart deal that we talked about months ago, fell through. It's not going to stick. It's not going to stick. So they're coming at him, and they hit him with extra. Now he's got like 3 gun charges. False statement in purchase of a firearm. Do you do drugs? No, I don't do drugs, while he hits his meth pipe or his crack pipe. False statement related to information required to be kept by federal firearms license dealers. False statement related to information required to be kept by federal firearms license dealer. Similar to the first one. Third one, possession of a firearm by a person who is an unlawful user or addicted to a controlled substance. You were right about Hunter Biden. He's secretly an agent of baseness. He will walk off from his gun charge and set the precedent for the rest of us if they try to use that law against us. Case law, using case law to say, well, Hunter Biden didn't go to jail, so I don't have to go to jail. That's fine if you have the money to pay the fines. He's got the money to pay the fines. If we don't have the money to pay the fines, it's kind of different for us. But yes, you're right. You could use case law. And I've said, Daddy Jub says it all the time too. He always says Hunter Biden is the most base Biden family member. Like, he's basically doing a giant FU dad with everything he does. Now, I do not condone drug use or underage prostitution. I don't think that's good. But it is kind of funny when you're the president's son. You're just like, screw you, Dad. Watch this. I'm going to put out a video. I'm going to leave my laptop in the pawn shop filled with all these videos of me with prostitutes getting BJs while I'm smoking a meth pipe and holding an illegal gun. And you're running for president. Let's freaking go. Yo, Hunter might be kind of based. He's a degenerate, but he might be an agent on our side. So it was 1 gun charge and 2 tax charges. They said the plea deal was plead guilty to these misdemeanors. And this is what a lot of people don't understand what a plea deal is. When you read into reports that, black people or so-and-so get bigger sentences for smaller crimes, that's because they're taking a plea deal. You plead guilty to the lowest charge, but they give you the max sentence on the lowest charge. So you might have a felony burglary where the minimum sentence is 10 years. And then you might have 2 drug charges, misdemeanor drug charges, along with that burglary, where the maximum sentence is 10 years. And to avoid having the felony on your record, a violent felony of burglary or whatever, instead you'll plead down to the misdemeanors and take the maximum sentence on the misdemeanors. So it looks like you're getting a bigger sentence for smaller charges, but you actually just pled down to a plea deal.
The White House says their investigation has been a bust.
That's what they've spent all year doing, and have turned up with no evidence, none, that he did anything wrong.
Meanwhile, tonight, one of the 2 IRS whistleblowers to testify to Congress that Hunter Biden was given preferential treatment during the tax investigation is speaking out to NBC News.
Leads that we didn't follow. There was evidence that we didn't follow. There were things that we didn't do in those 5 years that were essentially halted from the prosecutors.
Right. So the investigation was incomplete. It wasn't a thorough investigation. Hopefully, maybe this impeachment thing gets us a more thorough investigation. Let's look at some of these articles about Hunty Hunt. Hunter Biden is indicted on felony gun charges. Most of us would go to jail for that. Hunter Biden has been indicted felony gun charges weeks after a plea deal struck between President Biden's son and prosecutors fell apart. Let's read a little bit of this. This is actually a transcript of an interview. Let's see. First, what exactly is Hunter Biden being charged with today? Bustillo says, oh, that's Tommy, I bet. Of course it's Tommy. Tommy always calling in the middle of the dang show. I think he does it on purpose. Yep, I think he's doing it on purpose. Bustillo. Well, he's being charged with making knowingly false written claims that he was not an unlawful user or addicted to any stimulant, narcotic, drug, or other controlled substance, and lying to a federally licensed gun dealer when purchasing a firearm. There's another charge for illegal possession of a firearm, and this is connected with a gun he purchased in 2018. Earlier this summer, Biden had agreed to enter a plea deal that would have allowed him to avoid prosecution on these gun charges separately. As a part of the plea deal, he agreed to plead guilty to 2 misdemeanor offenses related to his filing for federal income taxes. Is this Chang? Who's Chang? Elisa Chang. She said, okay, and then remind us what happened to that plea deal. Well, the plea deal fell apart, which is how we got here today. Last month, the federal judge in Delaware questioned the terms of the deal, specifically whether it conveyed a kind of broad immunity to Hunter Biden over his business dealings and foreign lobbying. So prosecutors said no, and lawyers for Hunter Biden said yes. And there was no meeting of the minds. Prosecutors then said the two sides remained at an impasse and that there was no deal. David W.I.S., the special counsel in the case, has been investigating the president's son since 2019 when he was appointed by then President Trump as U.S. attorney from Delaware. Merrick Garland, the current attorney general, named him special counsel in August. The difference now is that as special counsel, he will write a report explaining his decisions about charging people or declining to charge people. And he's going to operate outside of the day-to-day supervision from the Justice Department leaders. But they can override his decision if they think they're inappropriate. All right. So, a little bit about what's going on there. ABC News says Hunter Biden's indictment stopped at gun charges, but more may be coming. So, that's kind of what that guy from Kentucky was hinting at, is that there are actually many more charges and that these are the least. These are the least of the charges. I want to see some underage prostitution charges. Let's see. The indictment of Hunter Biden on Thursday made one thing all but certain. President Joe Biden will embark on a 2024 re-election bid dogged once again by his son's tumultuous business and personal life. I mean, he wasn't really dogged in 2020 because all the news about the laptop was buried by social media. The feds came in and said, get this stuff off social media. We can't have the people knowing that Hunter Biden is a shell corp for his daddy and he's smoking crack with prostitutes and illegal guns. We can't have people knowing about that. The younger Biden is facing 2 counts related to false statements and purchasing a firearm. 3rd count, illegal obtaining a firearm while addicted to drugs. I've read all this stuff in other articles, but just looking for anything new here. In June, Hunter struck a plea deal. Before the deal fell apart during a court hearing in July, U.S. Judge Marilyn Noriega expressed concern over this. Not the real Noriega. Judge Marilyn Noriega. Concern over the structure of the agreement. Special counsel David W.I.S. subsequently withdrew the 2 tax charges in Delaware with the intention of bringing them in California and Washington, D.C., the venues where the alleged misconduct occurred. Investigators have examined whether Hunter Biden will paid adequate taxes and millions of dollars of his income, including money he made from multiple overseas business ventures. ABC News previously reported, and his dad doesn't know anything about that. Come on. How stupid are people? Like, I'm going to play a clip from a Destiny stream where Rob Noor came on, and I can't play the whole thing because it's like 3 hours long, but I listened to the whole thing, and it was very informational. Rob Noor is a beast. He's a conservative debate coach. He's debated Destiny and stuff. Not a huge guy. If you don't know about Rob Noor, find out about him. But he was on Destiny's show, and Destiny said, I'm going to forget everything I know. I'm going to wipe my mind blank, and I just want you to walk me through Burisma and all that stuff. And for like an hour, Rob Noor walks Destiny through a timeline. I'll play a little bit of it for you here in a second. He walks Destiny through a whole timeline, and then they start going through the documents, and they start having a back and forth where one of them plays the prosecutor and one of them plays the guy on the stand, and they're going back and forth in the scripts. And that's what I was talking about, where he said Hunter often called his dad, and we referred to that as DC. He was calling DC, and then later in the conversation, he says, well, Hunter went and called DC and said, I need you to help me out with this. And then they said, well, by DC, what do you think he meant by that? And he said, well, it was probably some lobbying groups. There's probably some lobbyist groups. You just said an hour ago that DC is daddy. DC is daddy cockmaster. if Hunter Biden is who they call cockmaster, then that's DC. The big guy. All these articles are going to give me most of the same stuff. Let's look at Department of Homeland Security. So this is the full committee hearing. If you guys want to look into this stuff yourself, I actually do have the Ukraine final report. We'll take a look at that. But you can go to the Homeland Security Governmental Affairs website, Hunter Biden, Burisma, and corruption, the impact on U.S. government policy and related concerns. So we're moving on from the gun charges. You know, we got a lot of articles about the gun charges. We got that figured out. I think the bigger picture here is this going to open up stuff into Burisma again? Are we going to finally get to the bottom of this shell corp that is the big guy and his son, Cockmaster? The impact on U.S. government policy and related concerns. So you could go here and you can look at all the exhibits, all the stuff. I think I have one PDF downloaded. We'll open that up real quick. So this is the summary report. Hunter Biden, Burisma, and corruption, the impact on U.S. government policy and related concerns. There's the table of contents. We're not going to look at that. We're just going to read the executive summary. Okay. This is 68 pages. Key findings. Actually, should we read the summary or should we read the, let's read the summary and then maybe we'll skim through the key findings. Okay. There's a lot of reading in this stream. This stream is going to be, not a lot of crazy stuff to talk about. We're just doing some learning. So the executive summary, in late 2013 and into 2014, mass protests erupted in Kiev, Ukraine, demanding integration into Western economies and an end to systemic corruption that had plagued the country. At least 82 people were killed during the protests, which culminated on February 21st when Ukrainian President Viktor Yanukovych abdicated by fleeing the country. Less than 2 months later, of the span of only 28 days, significant events involving the Bidens unfolded. On April 16, 2014, Vice President Biden met with his son's business partner, Devin Archer. We got a clip from a Tucker and Devin Archer interview. Maybe in a future gaming stream, I will watch that full interview because I've never seen it, but I have like a little excerpt or a little 10 minutes of it. At the White House. 5 days later, Vice President Biden visited Ukraine, and he soon after was described in the press as the public face of the administration's handling of Ukraine. The day after his visit, on April 22nd, Archer joined the board of Burisma. 6 days later, on April 28th, British officials seized $23 million from the London bank accounts of Burisma's owner, Mykola Zlochevsky. 14 days later, on May 12th, Hunter Biden joined the board of Burisma, and over the course of the next several years, Hunter Biden and Devin Archer were paid millions of dollars from a corrupt Ukrainian oligarch for their participation on the board. Sounds messy. And apparently Joe Biden there's no evidence that Joe Biden had any knowledge of this. He was vice president of America. He didn't know anything about this, guys. That's what we're supposed to believe. In 2014, protests in Kiev came to be known as the Revolution of Dignity, a revolution against corruption in Ukraine. Following that revolution, Ukrainian political figures were desperate for U.S. support. Zlochevsky would have made sure relevant Ukrainian officials were well aware of Hunter's appointment to Burisma's board as leverage. Hunter Biden's position on the board created an immediate potential conflict of interest that would prove to be problematic for both U.S. and Ukrainian officials and would affect the implementation of Ukrainian policy. The chairman's investigation into potential conflicts of interest began in August 2019 with Chairman Grassley's letter to the Department of Treasury regarding potential conflicts of interest with respect to Obama administration policy relating to the Hennigs transaction. During the Obama administration, the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States, CFIUS, Confucius, approved a transaction that gave control over Hennigs, an American maker of anti-vibration technologies. Wait, what? What is an anti-vibration technology? What's wrong with vibrating? With military applications of anti-vibration technologies. What the heck? To a Chinese government-owned aviation company and a China-based investment firm with established ties to the Chinese government. One of the companies involved in Hennig's transaction was a $1 billion private investment fund called Bohai Harvest, RST, or BHR. BHR was formed in November 2013 by a merger between the Chinese government, linked from Bohai Capital, and a company named Rosemont Seneca Partners. Rosemont Seneca was formed in 2009 by Hunter Biden. Oh, that's cool. The son of then Vice President Joe Biden. By Chris Hines, the stepson of former Secretary of State John Kerry, and others. The Ketchup guy. Access to relevant documents and testimony has been persistently hampered by criminal investigations, impeachment proceedings, COVID-19, and several incidents. Oh, another reason for the coof. Let's hamper the investigation into Joe Biden. Let's break out the coof. Thanks, China. And several instances of obstructive behavior. Accordingly, this investigation has taken longer than it should have. The chairman's efforts have always been driven by our belief that the public has the right to know about wrongdoings and conflicts of interest occurring within government, and especially those conflicts brought about by the actions of government officials. This is a good government oversight investigation that relies on documents and testimony from U.S. agencies and officials, not a Russian disinformation campaign, as our Democratic colleagues have falsely stated. Wow. What the chairman discovered during the course of this investigation is that the Obama administration knew that Hunter Biden's position in Burisma's board was problematic and did interfere in the efficient execution of policy with respect to Ukraine. Moreover, this investigation has illustrated the extent to which officials within the Obama administration ignored the glaring warning signs when the vice president's son joined the board of a company owned by a corrupt Ukrainian oligarch. And as we discussed in later sections, Hunter Biden was not the only Biden who crashed in on Joe Biden's vice presidency. This report not only details examples of extensive and complex financial transactions involving the Bidens, it also describes the quandary over U.S. government officials faced. It also describes the quandary other U.S. government officials faced as they attempted to guide and support Ukraine's anti-corruption efforts. The committees will continue to evaluate the information and evidence as it becomes available. Key findings, not too much. It's only 2 pages. We'll read the key findings, and then that'll be it for this document. But you guys can check these documents out for yourself. If you want me to do a stream where I just read through all 68 pages of this, we could do that. But let's check out these key findings. So, in early 2015, the former acting deputy chief of mission at the U.S. Embassy in Kiev, Ukraine, George Kent, raised concerns to officials in Vice President Joe Biden's office about the perception of a conflict of interest with respect to Hunter Biden's role on Burisma's board. Kent's concerns went unaddressed, and in September 2016, he emphasized in an email to his colleagues. Furthermore, the presence of Hunter Biden on the Burisma board was very awkward for all U.S. officials pushing an anti-corruption agenda in Ukraine. Yeah, they're trying to push an anti-corruption agenda. Meanwhile, we got blatant corruption right in our face. But again, if you listen to the Democrats, this is a Russian disinformation hoax. And, there's no evidence that shows that Joe Biden knew any of this stuff was going on. Bullcrap. In October 2015, senior State Department official Amos Hochstein raised concerns with Vice President Biden as well as with Hunter Biden that Hunter Biden's position on Burisma's board enabled Russian disinformation efforts and risks undermining U.S. policy in Ukraine. So, in October 2015, Biden was informed of this, and Hunter was informed of this, and they continued it. Although Kent believed that Hunter Biden's role on Burisma's board was awkward for all U.S. officials pushing an anti-corruption agenda in Ukraine, the committees are only aware of 2 individuals, Kent and former U.S. Special Envoy and Coordinator for International Energy Affairs, Amos Hochstein, who raised concerns to Vice President Joe Biden. Hochstein or his staff, Kent. So concerns were raised to Joe Biden, they're saying, but it was only 2 people that raised concern. The awkwardness for Obama administration officials continued well past his presidency. Former Secretary of State John Kerry had knowledge of Hunter Biden's role on Burisma's board, but when asked about it at a town hall event in Nashua, New Hampshire on December 8th, 2019, Kerry falsely said, "I had no knowledge about any of that. None. No." So you're a liar. So you lied. That's perjury. Evidence to the contrary is detailed in Section 5. Former Assistant Secretary of State for the European and Eurasian Affairs, Victoria Nuland, testified that confronting oligarchs would send an anti-corruption message in Ukraine. Kent told the committees that Zlochevsky was an odious oligarch. However, in December 2015, instead of following U.S. objectives of confronting oligarchs, Vice President Biden's staff advised him to avoid commenting on Zlochevsky and recommended he say, "I'm not going to get into naming names or accusing individuals." God. Hunter Biden was serving on Burisma's board, supposedly consulting on corporate governance and transparency. Transparency, right? When Zlochevsky allegedly paid a $7 million bribe to officials serving under Ukraine's prosecutor general, Vitaly Yurima, to shut the case against Zlochevsky. Kent testified that this bribe occurred in December 2014, 7 months after Hunter joined Burisma's board. And after learning about it, he and the resident legal advisor reported this allegation to the FBI. Hunter Biden was a U.S. Secret Service protectee from January 29th of 2009 to January 8th of 2014. A day before his last trip as a protectee, Time published an article describing Burisma's ramped up lobbying efforts to U.S. officials and Hunter's involvement in Burisma's board. Before ending his protective detail, Hunter Biden received Secret Service protection on trips to multiple foreign locations, including Moscow, Beijing, Doha, Paris. This guy's traveling all over, sleeping with hookers in every country, doing crack with guns. Seoul, Manila, Tokyo, Mexico City, Milan, Florence, Shanghai, Geneva, London, Dublin, Munich, Berlin, Bogota, Abu Dhabi, Nairobi, Hong Kong, Taipei, Buenos Aires, Copenhagen, Johannesburg, Brussels, Madrid, Mumbai, and Lake Como. He's well-traveled. He's a well-traveled guy. Lots of hookers. You got to taste every flavor, right? Andriy Telezenko, the Democrats' personification of Russian disinformation, met with Obama administration officials, including Elizabeth Zentos, a member of Obama's National Security Council, at least 10 times. A Democrat lobbying firm, Blue Star Strategies, B.S., they call it B.S., contracted with Telezenko from 2016 to 2017 and continued to request assistance as recent as the summer of 2019. A recent news article detailed other extensive contracts between Telezenko and Obama administration officials, in addition to the over $4 million paid by Burisma for Hunter Biden's and Archer's board membership. Hunter Biden and his family and Archer received millions of dollars from foreign nationals with questionable backgrounds. Archer received $142,300. That's a really specific number from Kenegs Rakishev of Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan, my sister's number one prostitute in all of Kazakhstan. She slept with Hunter Biden. Wow. Reportedly for a car the same day Vice President Joe Biden appeared with Ukrainian Prime Minister Arseniy Yatsenyuk and addressed Ukrainian legislators in Kiev regarding Russia's actions in Crimea River. Hunter Biden received a $3.5 million wire transfer from Elena Baturina, the wife of the former mayor of Moscow. We got 3 more. We're almost done, guys. Hunter Biden opened a bank account with Gongwin Dong to find a $100,000 global spending spree with James Biden and Sarah Biden. There's other Bidens. I don't even know who they are. Hunter Biden had business associations with Yi Jianming, Gongwin Dong, and other Chinese nationals linked to the communist government and the People's Liberation Army. Those associations resulted in millions of dollars in cash flow. Hunter Biden paid non-resident women who were nationals of Russia or other Eastern European countries and who appeared to be linked to an Eastern European prostitution or human trafficking. I told you. He was traveling all these countries to taste all the flavors of the rainbow. All right. Enough of that. That's the key findings. You guys can read these documents yourself. It's all available to you, and you got more documents here. Apparently, Grassley has released more stuff. Grassley released his full FBI memo with unverified claims about Hunter Biden's work in Ukraine. Republican Senator Chuck Grassley released an unclassified document Thursday. This is from AP, by the way. That Republicans claim is significant in their investigation of Hunter Biden as they delved into the financial affairs of the president and his son and received previously debunked claims of wrongdoing. Grassley of Iowa has been working alongside House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer. That's the guy we saw earlier in the clip, as Republicans deepen their probe of President Joe Biden and his son Hunter ahead of the 2024 election. Comer had issued a subpoena for the document from the FBI. While lawmakers on the Oversight Committee have already been able to partly review the information, this is the first time the full document, which contains raw, unverified information, is being made public. Called an FD 1023 form, it involves claims a confidential informant made in 2020 about Hunter Biden's alleged business dealings when he served on the board of Ukrainian energy company Burisma. Top Republicans have acknowledged they cannot confirm whether the information is true. So hopefully this impeachment stuff leads to more knowledge on that stuff. If you guys want to see Rob Noor lay out an excellent timeline of the Burisma dealings, and you want to see the formerly blue-haired liberal, omni-liberal Destiny have a good discussion with Rob Noor about Burisma in Ukraine, and Destiny trying to snake out of it and say, well, I don't think he was talking to his dad. You know, he said he was talking to DC, even though they knew that DC was his dad. You can check out this video on Destiny's channel. If Rob has a channel, I haven't been able to find it yet, where he has it. I'd rather he get the views than Destiny. But you guys can check it out. It's called Destiny Wipes Away His Opinion on Biden Takes the Conservative Pill. We'll just play a few minutes of this.
I could give you, to start with, a timeline of the events on Burisma. Burisma is this company that's ran by this guy Zolchevsky. It used to be Minister of Ecology in Ukraine.
The Roundtable, is that the name of his? Is it YouTube or what? What's his channel? Is it called the Roundtable on YouTube? And I also spelled his name wrong. It's Noerr. Rob Noerr. I thought it was Knorr. But it's knower. He knows stuff. He's a knower. So I'm not going to play this.
Prior to Poroshenko coming into office in 2014, the president...
Basically, he goes through the whole timeline, but that's kind of what I just read to you guys, so I'm not going to put you through that again. We'll skip to Destiny's summary of it at 51 minutes.
After he gets thrown out, the USA starts to get a big hand into the PGO, into the Ukrainian prosecutor people. We've got Archer and Hunter Biden are on the board of this Burisma company. Oops. Did I just shut my shit up? Oh.
So pretty much Rob went through the timeline. Destiny took notes, and now Destiny's going through his summary of the timeline. It gets real interesting a little farther in, though, when they start going back and forth on this script. Interview of Devin Archer. Yes, this is from the Committee of Oversights and Accountability, U.S. House of Representatives, interview of Devin Archer. And Destiny plays Devin Archer. Rob plays the prosecutor, and they read through this script, and it really lets you see how snaky liberals can be, because Destiny's trying to he's pretending to be ignorant, and he's being pretty fair in this thing, but he's pretending to be ignorant in this, like he doesn't know anything, and he's just taking it all in for the first time. But he's very snaky. He's like, well, there's no evidence that Biden knew about it, because he says DC. He doesn't say his father, and maybe it was a lobbyist group. But earlier in the conversation, they say, we understood DC to be Daddy Joe. So, with RN. The Roundtable with RN. Is that on YouTube? Let me see if I can find it real quick. YouTube. Yeah, because I like that guy. I've seen him in a lot of debates. I would like to interview him or something. He knows about geopolitics way more than I do. The Nursing Career Transformation Roundtable. That's not it. That's a transformer. I'm not seeing it. Is it on YouTube or is it on Rumble? What's it on? But anyway,
like a couple words, and I could probably Control F and find it.
Mr. Schwartz says, if you don't remember, it's okay.
I'm sorry, I don't remember. I don't remember if we stopped there.
And do you remember going to the board of directors meeting in Dubai?
Yes.
And do you remember who was at that meeting?
Jesus. Yes.
Good luck.
Alan Apter, Alexander Kwasniewski, Milkov Zlotevsky, Vadim P., Hunter Biden, and then some other executives. And then there were 2 Cyprus board members that I can't remember their names.
And who is Alan Apter?
He was a board member. He's a London banker.
Yes.
He set up a big had been set up other joint bills in production and et cetera, et cetera.
Do you recall if Hunter Biden went on this trip?
He did.
And after the board of directors meeting, do you recall at any point going to dinner with any other individuals afterwards?
Yes, we had a board dinner.
I think it's.
Do you commonly have board dinners?
Yes. 23 million pounds. There was, a U.S. visa denied, and then a Mexico visa denied. And then there was, so Shokin wasn't specifically on my radar as being an individual that was targeting him. But yes, there was constant pressure, and it was.
I know that. I'm sorry, you said it. What did Vadim tell you about the call?
Anyway, guys, you can check it out for yourself, but they go through the whole thing. I'm trying to wait. Here we go. So I'm not going to play it because I don't know where they at. He told you expressly he called his father or that he called DC. And then Archer says DC. When he told you this, did you confront Hunter Biden about it at any point? No, I wouldn't have done that. Like, confront him for what reason? Well, if they being Burisma, are facing government pressure. But see, so he says DC. He didn't say that he called his father. He said he called DC. But earlier in the conversation, and just that we called DC, but he didn't. Again, it's not like there was not and he's stuttering so much. Archer's stuttering so much in this. There was not, we've got our problem solved, kind of, revelation. It was like on the side of equation, kind of working the lobbying side of the business. So they're talking about a call from Hunter Biden saying we need these problems handled with Burisma, and he called DC. And Archer earlier in the conversation said that DC was his father.
Vadim told you that Hunter Biden had called the VP Biden at that time.
It would have been at some point thereafter, maybe the next day. Again, we spent, on a board trip where you travel with people from all over the world. We spent 3 days together. YouTube. So the exact time I can't say, but that's what happened.
He told you expressly he called his father or DC?
DC.
We could keep going if you want. How far do you...
Keep going a little bit. The DC Joe Biden thing is different. We can go a couple pages. Go ahead.
When he told you this, did you confront Hunter Biden at any point?
No, I wouldn't have done that. Like, confront him for what reason?
Well, if they being Burisma, are facing government pressure.
Let me try to just spell.
What if you could go from having to choose between war?
Destiny, get out of here with your ads. He stays monetized. He can talk about transforming children and all that other stuff, and he won't get demonetized.
Vadim comes, or Mikola comes, and to Hunter Biden and says, we're facing pressure, we need you to do something. And then Hunter Biden calls the vice president of the United States to do something. That could cause some sort of a serious alarm bells for influence peddling, conflicts of interest.
I got it. Subscribed to Rob. Let's go, Rob. All right.
Right.
I mean, Hunter Biden at this point is supposedly acting as the corporate governance.
Right.
But he's calling his father about...
I think that's even more reason that I was left out of these, black box DC types of conversations. I was working on the ground to build the business.
What do you mean by that?
Like, it was not, I wasn't, the pressures the pressures were exerted. That was kind of a blue star, the resources of Rosemont Seneca Advisors or whatever the subsidiary and DC partners.
Okay. So enough of that. But yeah, go check this out. They read through the whole thing, and it's, Rob lays it on him. Like, Rob just really lays it all out. And it's pretty good. But speaking of this Devin Archer guy, I do have one more thing we're going to watch, and then we'll get into the fake alien. It's already been debunked. But first, let's watch this interview with Tucker and Devin Archer. So I don't think this is the full interview because this is only 11 minutes long. I'm going to play this and run and take a potty break real quick. And you guys just listen. All right.
Hunter Biden in a bunch of different businesses. What were the specific skills that he brought to clients?
Well, at the end of the day, he had a career in Washington 20.
Yeah. So I got one last question for you, and we'll do a much longer interview and get the entire story. But we found this letter, kind of amazing. Uh-oh. It's from January 20th, 2011, which I think puts you in your late 30s, mid to late 30s. Right. Okay, so you're a younger man. This is from the Vice President of the United States, Joe Biden, to you personally.
Tucker dropping the docs on the boy. Tucker dropping the docs. You got the docs.
And it's personalized here at the bottom. Devin Archer, Rosemont Seneca Partners. That was your partnership with Hunter Biden in Georgetown.
Devin looking nervous. He looking nervous. I apologize. I need to talk to you, Lincoln. Sincerely, Joseph R. Biden. Happy you guys are together. Happy you guys are together, Joe wrote. I'm happy you guys are together, huh?
Apologize for not getting a chance to talk to you at the luncheon yesterday. I was having trouble getting away from hosting President Hu Jintang, who was running China at that point.
China.
I hope I get a chance to see you again soon with Hunter. I hope you enjoyed lunch. Thanks for coming. Sincerely, Joseph R. Biden Jr. P.S. Handwritten, happy you guys are together.
Are they together?
So there are many levels here. But here's the Vice President of the United States saying to you, a man in his mid-30s, who's not a government official, I'm sorry I was occupied with the guy who runs the world's largest country. I would much rather talk to you and thank you. What was he thanking you for?
Well, first of all, it's a lovely letter, and it was...
It's quite enthusiastic. It's a little weird, though, right?
Yeah, well, it was kind of the beginning of our partnership, and he was thanking me and thanking Hunter, I think, at the end of the day for bringing this idea of this government regulatory strategic advisory business into the private equity world. And I think he was excited about the prospects for Hunter, and, he was just thanking me. I think it was a nice gesture.
It was a nice, for sure. For sure. Very polite. It gets a 10 on the etiquette scale, but he's a vice president of the United States, and he's talking about foreign business deals with you and thanking you for that.
I think, again, it goes back to my earlier point I think I hit at the time, I think I hit the jackpot in finding the regulatory environment or company that can navigate right to the top. But, obviously, as time was told, being a little bit too close to the sun ends up burning you.
For sure. And it did you, and you suffered greatly for it. And this is
being a little bit too close to the swamp will drown you too, buddy. You got a little too close to that swamp water, my boy. You going down, Archer. Tucker got the docks. All right. So that's interesting. That's interesting. Cool. Well, I'm glad I watched that. I'd like to watch the full interview. Maybe we'll do it during a gaming stream later in the week, like I said earlier. Everybody who's watching, hit the like button. Thanks for coming to hang out, you guys. This is the Dreaded Conservative Show. We got one more story in the main story, news story segment. This is a weekly show, so a lot of times the stuff that I'm bringing to you guys is kind of late. Maybe it happened last Tuesday. We do this every Monday night. This story is from Wednesday. We'll get into it in just a second. So we're going to move on. But that's everything on the impeachment inquiry, Hunter with his gun charges, the Burisma stuff, a little bit of a deep dive into Burisma and all that stuff. I've been doing my research this week into it, getting informed, and it's a mess. And I don't know how anybody can believe that Joe Biden didn't know this stuff was going on, this corruption. So hopefully it'll all get blown open. Hopefully Trump gets in there in 2024 and these people go to jail. Lock them up. Lock them up. You're fired. Hopefully. We will do some more deep research into B.R.I.C.S at the end of the show. And we got rapid fire coming up. Rapid fire news stories. We got memes. We got reels. But first, we got one last story in the main news story segment. We got a story that happened earlier this week. We got more fake aliens, guys. More fake aliens. Where's my sound effects? More fake aliens. All right. You know the aliens are fake. I know the aliens are fake. They're not real. It's a distraction. They don't want us looking at Hunter and Joe Biden. They want us looking at the fake aliens. So from Mexico, Congress, scientists unveil a pair of mummified aliens. We got Mexican mummy aliens. Okay, so I know this is an old story, but we got a debunking coming up. Let's read this. Scientists in Mexico are pulling back the curtain on what some believe are aliens, and the remains of non-human beings were put on display. Two small mummified species were presented Tuesday at Mexico's first public congressional hearing on unidentified anomalous phenomenon, UAPs. We've heard of the UAPs. The UAPs, they're unidentified. displaying 2 mummified bodies he claimed to be not from Earth. Journalist and UFO researcher Jamie Masson and other experts proposed that the Mexican Chamber of Deputies recognize UAPs to guarantee airspace security and to allow it to be studied. The shriveled bodies with shrunken, warped heads left those in the chamber aghast and quickly kicked up a social media fervor. It's the queen of all evidence, Masson claimed. That is, if the DNA is showing us that they are non-human beings, that there is nothing that looks like this in the world, we should take it as such. But be warned that he didn't want to refer to them as extraterrestrials just yet. The apparently desiccated bodies date back to 2017 and were found deep underground in the sandy Peruvian coastal desert of Nazca. The area is known for gigantic enigmatic figures scraped into the earth and seen only from bird's eye view, most attributed to Nazca lines to ancient indigenous communities, but the formations have captured the imaginations of many. Let's play a clip. I got a little clip.
Scientists in Mexico pulling back the curtain on what they believe are aliens and put 2 of those corpses on display. Take a look. These small mummified specimens were unveiled at Mexico's first ever UFO hearing yesterday.
Oh, yeah, that looks like a freaking mummified alien. Are you serious? That looks like pottery I made in art class in 7th grade. What are you talking about? We went to the pottery barn. That looks like one of the pots I made.
Yeah, it looks like E.T. You're right. The alleged alien corpses were found in Peru. They're believed to be 700 to 1,800 years old.
Look how tiny the little alien man is. Wow. It's the guys from Men in Black. Botapua. J, we potataha. What is I don't know what language they speak. They speak French. I don't speak French. But I could do a good impression if I knew what they're saying. We need the cigarettes in the coffee. Jay. Okay, enough of that crap.
They only had 3 fingers and elongated heads. X-rays of the aliens were also shown, and experts say one of the bodies has eggs inside of it.
Chicken
Maybe
eggs?
we could have alien babies.
A lot going on in Peru.
So, aliens, Congress floor. Let's meet the man. Let's meet the man who unveiled the alien corpses at Mexico Congress. Who is UFOologist? UFOologist. How do you say that? Because it wouldn't be UFOologist. It'd be UFOlogist. He's dropping a UFO log. Jamie Masson. Jamie Masson claims to be an expert on unidentified flying objects and ET beings. E.T. found home. Mexico City's Congress witnessed a remarkable event on Tuesday where 2 alleged mummified alien corpses were put on display in the presence of scientists and researchers of extraterrestrial beings. The event was spearheaded by Jamie Masson, who claims to be an expert on unidentified flying objects. Well, as we're about to find out, he's actually a hoax artist. He's a con artist, and nothing he says is worth any of its salt. There's no credibility to it. Masson is a Mexican journalist who claims to be a UFO. So he's a journalist. He writes stories. This is like the guy that Elon Hubbard, when he made Scientology, he was like the greatest, not the greatest, but he wrote more fictional stuff than anybody else. And then he comes out with Scientology and it's like a religion. This dude's a journalist. He's a writer. Remember, we've talked about cults, how cults are often started by writers. Fictional writers, all these like fake stories you hear, they're always brought out by people who write fiction. Well, we got a journalist, a UFOlogist. In 2015, Masson claimed that the mummy discovered in Peru near Nazca lines was that of an alien. However, as per fact check by Snopes, the claim was found to be false. According to their report, the mummified corpse was of a human child. Due to their reasons, Masson is considered to be a hoax promoter. So, non-human alien corpses displayed at Mexico's Congress, 1,000 years old, blah, 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 blah. 2 small non-humans displayed in window boxes for all. Does it have pictures of the... So he's hoaxed them before. He put baby bones on the stage. Plot twist, those aliens are really just made of jerky. Teriyaki flavor, perhaps? Perhaps. Plot twist. Those aliens are actually made of a bunch of animal parts that are stuck together. Let's see space.com. Alien mummies in Mexico. NASA's UFO study team says don't bet on it. One of the main goals of what we're trying to do here today is to move conjecture and conspiracy towards science and sanity. UFOs and aliens are once again in the headlines this week. Unfortunately, this is not because a mothership landed on the White House lawn, but because NASA. Could you imagine? Could you imagine the mothership lands on the lawn of the White House and they say, "Take me to your leader," and Joe Biden stumbles out and falls down the stairs? And they're like, "Who's this idiot? Let's take this planet, turn it into a farm, turn it into a human farm. Just put them all in pods, take it over. Look at this idiot that they got running the place. What the? Lord have mercy. Save us, God. Save us, Jesus, from the aliens, the fake aliens." Independent study team and agency commissioned to study unidentified anomalous phenomenon. However, the release of NASA's first UFO report wasn't the only story about possible non-human life forms to make headlines this week. Lawmakers in Mexico heard testimony about the presence of alien life on Earth that include 2 corpses of extraterrestrials. Supposedly, the supposed alien mummies, well, the creepy whatever they are, were displayed by Jamie Masson, a longtime UFO personality with a history of hoaxing alleged non-human remains. Despite Masson's history of faking alien corpses and mummies, the story has now gone wide. So wide, in fact, that it was brought up during NASA's briefing about the new UAP report, which took place on Thursday, September 14th. During Thursday's briefing, BBC News digital journalist Sam Cabral asked whether or not NASA had been in touch with Mexican authorities about the rather sensational revelations concerning the alleged alien mummies. In response, the chair of NASA's UAP study team, David Spurgay, responded that if there is any evidence of alien remains, then those in possession of the material should make it publicly available for study. When you have unusual things, you want to make data public, Spurgay said. I think of this like NASA has one of the most valuable samples from outer space, lunar rocks. What do? We make them available to scientists who want to work on this. We don't know the natures of those samples that were shown in front of them, Spurgay added. If I was in the Mexican government, I would make a recommendation to the Mexican government. That's not our charge here. We're doing this for NASA. My recommendation would be, if you have something strange, make samples available to the world's scientific community, and we'll see what's there. So the guy's a hoax artist. NASA's not with it. They don't believe it. But let's read from Wired. We have a debunking here from Wired. No, this is not an alien. Here's why. So apparently this thing has like chicken bones and other animal parts glued into it. 2 non-human beings were shown during a bizarre hearing in Mexico's Congress. The bodies are believed to be a muddle of human and animal bones held together with glue and fake skin. It was like an alien unboxing, but they were just Nazca mummies from Peru. Toward the end of a public hearing, the Green Room of the Chamber of Deputies, Congress of Mexico, Jamie Masal, UFOologist, journalist, and host of the Mexican television program Tercer Milenio, announced a surprise. The well-known researcher had the audience's attention at his historic session focused on UAPs. Before the hearing began, Sergio Gutierrez... Did I just break my chair again? Oh, damn it. Oh, man. I think I just broke the chair again. It's jiggly. Hold on. It's jiggly. I think it's okay. Nope. I broke it. The JB Weld didn't hold. My chair's broken again. We got chair issues, guys. The chair is broken. This happened before, and I fixed it with JB Weld. And I think I just snapped the weld. Hold on. It might be okay. I think it's... This side is solid. I don't know. It's jiggly. It's jiggly. Oh, man. We broke the dang chair again. This is why you don't buy cheap chairs off of Amazon. Chinese piece of crap. All right. Before this, this is the last article. We're almost done, guys. Before the hearing, and then we can do memes and all the fun stuff. Sergio Gutierrez Lunes, the deputy of Morena, Mexico's governing party, asked the participants to stand up and swear to tell the truth. Among the audience were Ryan Graves, a retired U.S. Navy pilot lieutenant who had early testified in U.S. Congress regarding his experience with unidentified objects, and Abraham Aviv, yeah, it's broken, an astrophysicist director of the Harvard Astronomy Department and leading proponent of a theory that an alien spaceship has already landed on Earth. When it was Musan's turn to speak, he gave a signal to open 2 tiny sarcophagi containing the bodies of 2 non-human beings. Blah, 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 blah. Mummy studies, great archaeological discovery, tridactyl Nazca humanoid mummies. Where do we get to the debunk? With the experience of the researchers who has worked with Colombian mummies have, especially from Nazca area, it's clear to us that these mummies, the large ones, are pre-Columbiano human beings that have been modified for commercial purposes. And our supposed small mummies are structures that have been put together. Physical anthropologist Giotto Lombardi, who has studied mummies in Peru, told the newspaper. Flavio Estrada, a forensic archaeologist who analyzed the mummies for the Institute of Legal Medicine and Forensic Scientists of the Public Ministry in Peru, has said that the remains of the alleged aliens are creations made from animal and human bones, held together with synthetic glue, which have in turn been covered in a fake skin. According to Masson, the desiccated bodies were found in Peru in 2017. They are non-human beings, part of our terrestrial evolution. According to UNAM, who performed the carbon-14 analysis, these beings are about 1,000 years old. They were not recovered in ships that crashed, but they were buried in diatomaceous earth, fossilized algae that is 17 million years old, allegedly. You can't believe any of the carbon dating. It's not reliable, by the way. News network exploded. Scientific community issued communiques. And following these hearings, divided into 2 camps, those who backed Masson and those who discredited him. Then there were others who simply poked fun at the spectacle. It would have been good to invite scientists, says Julieta Piero, physicist, astronomer, and science authority. Both those who search for extraterrestrial life, as well as people who do genetic anthropology and who date remains from the past, but they were not included. So it's bogus. More fake aliens. More fake aliens. That's the point of this story. The JB well broke. Yeah, did you hear it? It went pop, and now it's jiggly again. Dang it, man. This stupid chair. I got more, though. Dang, those push-ups, man, you gained so much muscle, you busted the chair. I know, man. I can't even sit in this chair. This thing just breaks on me. I got more JB Weld, though. I'll hit it up again. I should have, once I did the first one, because the problem is that the 2 bars, you got to like balance it to get them to touch. So when I put the JB Weld in, I couldn't touch it, and it was just sitting a certain way. Once I got that first strip in there, I should have went back and done a second layer and covered all the sides and really coated it in, but I didn't do that. So we're going to have to triple JB Weld it. We're going to have to really layer it up. It's just hard because you unzip the back, and unless I take the entire chair apart, I can't get to where I need to get to very good. So I used a butter knife, and I kind of just put it in there, and I had to like have it set up just right. And I wanted to use something to strap it to hold it while it dried, but just the way it is, it's hard to do that without taking the whole thing apart, and I don't feel like doing that. Anyway, chair's broken. We need a new chair. Let's get on with the memes. It's meme time. Hold on. Before I got to get all my stuff ready before I do this. It's meme time. Meme review time. Oh yeah, we got some memes. We got memes. Are you ready? Meme review. Oh, here we go. All right. Meme review. You guys ready? If you're new to the Rumble show, we do the main story news segments. Then we do meme review. Then we watch some funny reels. Then we do rapid fire news, which is just little headlines. We just kind of burn through them. And then at the end, we'll do a long segment, sometimes on theology, sometimes philosophy. Sometimes we do some Bible thumping. And we talk about a Bible story or a parable. Sometimes it'll be on conspiracy theories. Sometimes I'll talk about ghosts in Halloween. We'll do like a segment about spooky stories for Halloween, ghost stories, things like that. All kinds of stuff in the last segment. The last segment's kind of could be anything. Today, the last segment's going to be B.R.I.C.S research because I need to learn about B.R.I.C.S. It's going to be kind of boring. But now we're in the meme review segment, and it's time for the memes. All right. Ready? Here we go. You had one job, and you nailed it. Let's go. This is the greatest plumber ever. If you have a plumber like this, you need to give him a big old fat tip. Pause. This is the greatest plumber ever. This plumber is a legend. He needs to get paid. Pay that man. That's legendary plumbing. Next. Bro behind bars eating better than y'all. Oh my God, we got store. We got store in the cell. Until they come by and do a random search. Look at all this crap. Look at all this garbage food in the store. Until they come by and do a random search and you have more than your allotment of commissary. There's a limit. You're only allowed to have a certain amount of commissary in your cell. This guy's running store. He's probably running the gambling tables. Probably running the football pool. Bunch of garbage. You can make a nice a goulash or a cake or a pizza. All kinds of ghetto jail food you can make with all this stuff. All right. But you know what I say about that? Beta! All right. Next. Being a gynecologist in 2023. I'm afraid a pap smear is out of the question. Why? Because your big hairy nuts are in the way. What the? It's a man, baby. Oh, no. You got some big hairy nuts in the way. You can't get a pap smear with dang old nuts. Oh, my God. That's gross. Next. If my job ever gets me to this point, I'm going to leave. Is that really Lori Lightheart? Lori Longfoot? Lori Longfoot? Yo, why is she standing with her toes separated, though? Isn't that how guys stand? Is she a man? Is that a man, baby? It's a man, baby. Or is that just a beta? Beta! Yo, she used to look kind of cute. And now, she looks evil. What the heck? Is that really what she used to look like? Our mayor here in Salt Lake City, Mayor Erin Mendenhall, in just 4 years, she's aged like 60 years. I thought they had adrenochrome for that. I thought they were like absorbing the fear of children to stay young. I guess not for these people. They're below that pay grade. Next. Oh, damn. Is that AOC? Oh, hold up. I skipped. Oh, no, I skipped the meme. What are we doing? Okay, we're back. Is that AOC? I don't know who that is, but she's fine. Thomas Sowell. We have a quote from Thomas Sowell. Don't be fooled by big old socialist titties. They're meant to hypnotize, then enslave your ass. Did Thomas Sowell really say that? I don't know if Thomas Sowell actually said that. But dang. What's up, girl? Maybe I'll be a socialist. Make me a socialist. Dang, body snatchers don't even try anymore. Yep, we did spooky stories last year for Halloween. We'll do them again this year. All right. And Halloween's coming up, so invasion of the body snatchers. Thomas Sowell is on point with this one. Don't be fooled by big old socialist titties. They're meant to hypnotize and enslave your ass. Okay. Oh, crap. Hold on. I messed up something. Let's just close out of this. And let's just start again from here. All right, cool. We're back. We're back. It's all good. All right, Fauci says, this is a cat. This is a cat. No, Fauci, that's a duck, Fauci. But it's the science. You got to follow the science. Fauci said this is a cat. And all the NPCs with masks on say, this is a cat. This is a cat. Don't question the science. What's up, Robbie? Downtown Robert Brown in the house. What's up, Robbie? Next meme. Oh, my Lord. Joe Biden, did you know he was at 9/11? There I was on 9/12/2001, covered in dust from the towers. There I was, 9/12/2001, covered in dust from the towers. Covered in dust from the towers. It's an alien. Joe Biden's a dang alien. What the? Oh, no. All right, enough of that. Enough of Joe Biden being an alien. Next. I remember being there the first day Michael Armstrong first did that moonwalk thing. You know the thing. Joe was on the moon when they fake landed on the moon. He was with him. He was at September 11th. He was hanging out with Corn Pop. All the kids were playing with the hair on his legs, all the cockroaches, as he called them. You know, poor kids are as smart as white kids. Joe, he was everywhere. This guy's a legend. China Joe.
Beta!
All right, next. Other people. I don't let animals on my furniture. My dog. Yeah, this is Echo. Echo's like, this couch, this pillow, this whole house is mine. How you gonna lock me out this time? This house, the TV, this whole house is mine. That's my dog. That's Echo. That's Echo right there. Next. How to slow down time. Step 1. Do a plank. Somebody said, do I have to take the skin off first? Seems a little excessive. This is so true, though. No, you don't have to take the skin off. Just do a plank. Try to do a plank for 3 minutes. It'll be the longest 3 minutes you've ever existed through. For real. That's very true. And then when you're done, you're going to be stronger. People are going to say,
it's a man, baby.
Yep. Joe was having cocktails with Steve Razanese. I don't even know who that is. Hey, it's confused with Michael Jackson again. What's up, Brit1X? It's confused with Michael Jackson again. I don't know what that means. Joe was having cocktails with Steve Razanese. I don't know who that is either. What are y'all talking about? I don't understand your references. Next. When the cheese on the Big Mac don't melt. What the? Damn. She thick. That's some government cheese right there. That's government cheese. You better watch out with that. That cheese don't melt right. That's some government cheese. They were supposed to meet Mark Wahlberg there too on the moon. The comic who fibbed about being at 9/11. Oh, okay. Yeah, a lot of fake celebrities were and politicians were at 9/11 and at the moon landing. Y'all's comments are behind where I'm at. I'm on the fat cheese lady. What do you think about that? She's thick. Okay, next. Select grade. Oh, no. Poor Joe. Select grade. A 3rd or 4th grader would be great. Oh, no. That's horrible. That's just horrible.
Beta!
Oh, man. Select grade. A 3rd or 4th grader would be great. That's bad. I got to skip that one. Next! Testicular injuries. Joe Biden's looking at a graph. Testicular injuries among female athletes. 1980, none. 1990, none. 2000, none. 2010, none. 2020, it skyrockets. What the?
It's a man, baby.
Oh, no.
Beta!
If you're a female athlete and you have testicles, then...
I am not gay. I have relationships with women and sex with men.
And I got news for you.
That means
you're gay. That means you're gay.
In this case, it means you're a transformer more than meets the eye. All right. Next. I can't believe we still don't have world peace after we changed the names on pancake and syrup packaging. Shocking. Shocker. You guys didn't know that we would have world peace if we took Aunt Jemima off the dang syrup? And we took Uncle Ben off the rice? We still got the Quaker Oats. We still got the white guy on the Quaker Oats, though. Let's go. Let's go.
It's a man, baby.
That's the Quaker Oats guy. That's a man, baby. All right. Next. If Iron Man was black, who would you cast as Tony Stark? Robert Downey Jr.? Duh. I'm the guy playing the guy that looks like the guy. I'm the guy playing the guy that acting like another guy. Shout out Tropic Thunder. Let's go. Let's go. We need another great comedy like Tropic Thunder. Yes, that was based Ice-T. Next. How bad is it? They know you're gay and you smoke crack.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women and sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
Beta! Oh, no. We're all going to wind up naked in a lake in 8 foot deep of water after a paddleboarding accident. All of us. Everyone watching this show, we're all going to end up dead. Next! Picture is worth 1,000 words. Look at Donald Trump, the lion.
It's a man, baby.
And then we scroll down and we got the snake and the old man, the decrepit old man. A picture is worth 1,000 words. At least they're not as bad as the Clintons.
Murderers. Yeah. Oh, Clinton, he murdered a guy.
Yep. At least they're not. At least they didn't murder a guy. The Obamas and the Clintons just be murdering guys. Joe Biden's too slow to be murdering guys. Kamala just be sucking them off. Okay, that was inappropriate. Next, one criminal is dead, another is in custody after 13-year-old target grabbed his mother's gun and opened fire on home invaders before police could respond. One criminal is dead and another is in custody after their 13-year-old target grabbed his mother's gun and opened fire on the home invaders before the police could respond. And there's the criminals. Bum, bum, bum. He black. Beta. He black. 13-year-old target. Now, I wonder, they're going to call this kid a white supremacist. He's the biggest threat to America. He's a white supremacist. He's racist. You know, he's a gun user. I don't know. You know, I don't know how he managed to stop them with an illegal weapon. Rain dance at Burning Man. Humba la 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 la. Humba la la. You're fired. You're fired. Humba la 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 la. Humba la la. Rain. Trump making it rain, baby. Trump making it rain at Burning Man. Let's go. Nice. I should have a sound clip that says Alpha. Next. They're doing it again because you didn't hang them last time. Fun fact. Fun fact. Sounds about right to me. Sounds about right to me. China, what do you say? I agree. I agree. I wonder how much that guy charges to do an appearance. The rainbow dildo butt monkey? I don't know, man. I'm sure he's got a busy schedule nowadays. That was 2021. 2023, he's at every library. You know, he's coming to a city near you. He's going to be in the library. Coming to a city near you. Ew, gross. Okay. Next. I don't know if this is real. I didn't fact check this one. Kalafala Muhammad. Kalafala Durka Muhammad. Age 54. Non-compliant. Offender details. Mugshot. Race. White. Age 54. 5'11". Eyes brown. Hair brown. Ethnicity, non-Hispanic. Race, white. I don't know if this is real, guys. It's just funny, though. We've talked about how they are, the FBI is no longer taking statistics on race for crimes because the data is racist. And, you know, Hispanic people, Asian people, they're all considered white passing in crime statistics and things like this. So I could believe this. I could definitely believe this. It looks like Justin Trudeau. Looks like Justin Trudeau when he wore blackface that one time. Is that guy white passing? What do you think? What do you think? Speaking of hangings, yeah, let's hang Rainbow Dildo Butt Monkey. Looks like Mary Tyler Moore. I'm going to have to edit this a lot for YouTube. I don't know if you're allowed to talk about Rainbow Dildo Butt Monkey on YouTube. Oh, God. Okay, next. Oh, it's Trump and it's the screaming girl. Ah, no. It's the Trump signal. It's the Trump signal. He's coming back. He's returning. Oh, no. Okay, simple meme. Next. This is Perlik Yabenji. Perlik Yabenji, the first black man to give money to a woman in 1825. The problem maker. I don't even get this meme, but Freddie sent it, so I used it. Next. He was a beta. White boys, when they find out eights have never been $250. Oh, you're about to get beat down, Izzy. You're going to get dog walked across that cage for about 5 full rounds. You're just going to get raffle stomped by Strickland here. You've been overcharging him for the pot, you potheads. You've been overcharging. He said, wait till I get my money right. Dang, Strickland walking down Izzy. Okay, next. Learning another language for the culture. Learning another language to insult a whole other group of people. There you go. That's the right one. There you go. I want to learn Chinese just so I can call these damn commies out. Sounds about right. Should make that the title of your stream. Rainbow Dildo Butt Monkey or what? Maybe he just had a really good tan. Yeah. Love the little Trump space in the bat signal. Yep. The Trump signal. All right. Next. Minesweeper. Y'all ever play Minesweeper? It's a classic old game. It's a great game. You just click on them, and then it gives you numbers. You have to use math. And if you have a 1, that means one of your edges is not a bomb. If you have a 3, that means there's 3 bombs in the area. And basically, you just click, click, click. You do your math, and you try to not click on the bombs. Because somewhere in this crowd, there are hidden bombs. Minesweeper at the Allahu Akbar event. Oh, no. Next. Me trying to make a joke that won't offend anybody in 2023. It's like dodging lasers. My wife died in a laser accident. What is your problem? Damn. Was she in Hawaii? Was she in Lahaina? Oh no, too soon? Too soon? Betas can't take a joke. Minesweeper was the shits. Yep. All right. Next. Will this stop me from getting sick? No. Could it kill me? Yes. Maybe now, maybe later. I don't know. Thanks for keeping me safe, doctor. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate that. China virus. Get your Vaseline. Coming to a 5th booster shot near you. The new and improved Vaseline. They lube you up right before they slam it in. The Vaseline. Crazy idea. Let's divide a country into half capitalists and half communists. Check back on it 70 years later. It turns out we've already done that. We've already done that. North Korea and South Korea. Wow. Look at North Korea looking nice. I mean, South Korea looking nice. Look at North Korea looking like a dang old prison block. The whole thing looks like a giant prison block. South Korea looking like Dubai, New York when it was nice. Look at that. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Nice. I don't really have a good sound effect. So next. When he takes too long to get the towel, she's got babies on her face. What kind of meme is this? When he takes too long to get the towel, it just makes, and we're against abortion here. We are against abortion, which means You gotta just let all the babies grow. Let them babies grow. It's good for your skin, lady. And she's Asian. She's kind of cute. Dang. Hopefully she's not Taiwanese, because then you might be saying,
It's a man, baby.
all right, next. Oh, wow. No words need to be said. We got Joe Biden and Mr. Burns. Smithers. Bring me my coffee, Smithers. Look at Joe looking just like Smithers. That's a 1-to-1 ratio comparison. Yep. Sounds about right. Retardation-free Vaselines. Get your free Vaselines here. And that's how you get... It's never too soon for a great joke. Next! When they send you a few buses of those illegal immigrants you said you wanted, they slowly morph. From immigrants to Derek. What's his name? From American History X? Derek. Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. They become radical immigrants. They're like, go back to your country. When you got like second generation immigrants yelling, go back to your country to these illegals. It's so funny and true. So true. Bite the curb. Next. I slipped and fell on black ice. I thought it was regular ice, but when I got up, my wallet was gone. Oh no. Well, you're not going to get your money right slipping on the black ice. You got to be careful with that. And that's it for the memes. Okay. Nukes are coming, guys. Watch out. Russia's Satan nuke is on its way. All right. Enough of that. Enough of the memes. What do we got? We got some Edward Norton. No, not the actor. His name in the movie. His name was Derek something. All right. We got some funny reels. We got a lot from Instagram this week. I kind of mix up. Sometimes I'll take from Facebook. Sometimes I'll take shorts from YouTube. Sometimes Instagram. Never TikTok. Never that. So let's see what we got for reels, and then we got some stories to burn through real fast. All right. Let's see here. Oh, first we got the preschool apprentice. This kid is based. This kid is super based. Let's go. Preschool apprentice. Let's hear it. What do you got to say, buddy? Looking like Trump in his mug.
Back to another edition of the Preschool Apprentice. Today the teacher told us all about mac and cheese. Mac and cheese. It's a tremendous little food. It's so great. It's got these little pieces of pasta and these little bags of squeezable cheese. We love to squeeze the cheese, quite frankly. And nobody squeezes cheese better. Nobody. You look at Sleepy Joe, you look at Barry, you look at George Bush. Nobody squeezes cheese better than I do. The other thing that I would like to ponder at is that I don't know who Mac is. Mac is an unidentified identity, and I'm quite frankly a little confused. There's mac and cheese, but who is Mac? I know who cheese is. Cheese is delicious. Who is Mac? We don't know. We're looking into it quite bigly. We're looking into it so bigly. We're going to find you, Mac, and we are going to bring you to justice. We're going to bring you to justice with a lot of cheese, okay? Welcome.
Legend. That kid's awesome.
Happy penis.
No, happiness.
Happy penis.
What? Happiness?
Happy penis.
No, happiness.
Happy penis.
What?
One more time.
Happiness?
Happy penis.
No, happiness.
Happy penis.
Funny kid. Look at this, the Balloon World Cup.
El alemán a la desesperó que puede.
Have you guys ever seen, did you know there's a Balloon World Cup?
De la Cruz.
Yo,
el héroe
nacional.
Te digo que este tío en Perú le van a hacer reportajes, ya te lo digo.
No, en Perú, portada mañana el periódico.
Porque al español ya le han hecho.
¡No me lo creo! ¡No puede ser!
¿Qué es esto?
¡Otro al otro lado! ¡Otro al otro lado!
¡Ha llegado!
¡Ha llegado! que no se acabe, que no se
¡Está
acabe.
aturdido!
En el último
¡Está
momento.
aturdido! ¡Está aturdido Francesco de...
Que no se acabe.
Francesco!
He lost. Balloon World Cup. If that's not the coolest sport I've ever seen. Here's a wholesome one. This is from TikTok. But this little girl, this might be kind of corny. You guys might say, this is kind of corny, Josh. But this little girl is singing for Jesus. And I like it. I approve of this message. I like this little girl. I like this little song she made. Let's listen.
And this is a song that we wrote. This is her second time performing ever. So I'd like for you guys to encourage her a little bit. This is
You know, in a world,
just up here helping her out. It's called Shining.
in a world of Cardi B's and Megan Thee Stallions and Nicki Minaj's, this is good to see. This is wholesome, nice performance from a little girl. It's catchy too. They need to get this girl a record deal. Don't even start. Inside of my heart. God's in charge. Oh. She's Holy Ghosting. Ooh. All right. Wait for the bass drop. Here we go. Hey. All right, that was cool. I don't care who you are. That little girl's awesome. All right, let's play this one. Get it to go this time. And get him. One more time. Doggy gets dinner. Nice. Okay. All right. That's it for the reels. That's it for the memes. That's all the fun stuff we had. Let's do rapid fire news. Let's burn through these stories. And then I'm going to take a bathroom break, and then we will learn about B.R.I.C.S. We'll learn about all the B.R.I.C.S information. So let's see. What do we got? Let's do Trump dates first. Trump dates. Trump updates. Updates on Trump. Because we talked about Biden for the first whole hour and a half. Let's get into some Trump news. So we got an article from Reuters. Basically, our boy, Trump, taking all the blame. He's not going to blame nobody. He doesn't want nobody to go down with him. He says it. Trump says it was his decision to persist with 2020 election challenges. He's taking accountability. He doesn't want his boys to go down, or his not boys. He doesn't want other people to go down for things that he was persisting with. I don't think anybody should go down. But if anybody goes down, Trump is going to take accountability. I don't know if Democrats think that this is like a W that he said this. In reality, it's just him being an honorable man. Former U.S. President Donald Trump said he dismissed the views on his own lawyers and continuing to challenge his 2020 defeat because he did not respect them, saying in an interview aired on Sunday that he had made up his own mind that the election had been rigged, a false claim that he continues to make, says Reuters. Trump, the frontrunner to the Republican nomination to take on Democratic President Joe Biden in the 2024 election, is now facing 4 concurrent criminal prosecutions, including 2 involving his attempts to overturn his 2020 loss to Biden. It was my decision, Trump told NBC's Meet the Press program, that the election was rigged against him, adding that he relied heavily upon his own instincts in coming to that conclusion. Speaking of that, I have not watched the full Meet the Press interview yet, but maybe we'll play it. Maybe we'll play it when I take my bathroom break. But so Trump has taken, he's saying it was my decision. It wasn't their decision. It was my decision. Just his decision. We got more Trump news from CNN. What's CNN saying? CNN says Trump, who paved the way for Roe v. Wade reversal, says Republicans speak very inarticulately about abortion. So this was at Meet the Press. Former President Donald Trump, who paved the way for the undoing of the federal abortion rights protection, said that some Republicans speak very inarticulately about the issue of having pursued terrible state-level restrictions that could alienate much of the country. So this is when he was being kind of, I'm more of a hardline, no abortion at all guy. And Trump was saying, we need to come to an agreement as a country. We need a number. We need a good number. And he said that DeSantis's 6-week ban is a terrible thing and a terrible mistake. I disagree. So, see, I'll call out Trump when he says something I disagree with. I understand what he's saying. He's being a populist, and he's saying we need to unite the country on this argument. We need to come up with a reasonable number where after that point, abortion isn't allowed. Now, I'm a hardline conception, if you don't want to have a baby, don't have sex. It's pretty simple. No abortion. But so Trump is saying that Republicans take too strong of a stance on this. And I'll be honest, I've talked about this before. He's being a populist, right? He's kind of right that if we push for the extremes, we're going to lose. We have to basically work with our enemies and come to an agreement. Maybe over time, we can slowly get that number down. I'm still hardline no abortion, but you're never going to come to that agreement politically when half of the country wants to have abortions at 9 months. But Trump was very adamant about no late-term abortions, and he always brings up how the Democrats voted to let the baby die on the table in a botched abortion. So he said a lot of the right things. He said some of the things I didn't like that he said when he's calling out DeSantis for his 6-week ban. A terrible thing, a terrible mistake. DeSantis camp hit back on Sunday, taking aim at the former president, saying he'd be willing to work for both parties on abortion. We've already seen the disastrous results. Of Donald Trump's compromising with Democrats. Over $7 trillion in new debt, an unfinished border wall, and the Jailbreak First Step Act letting violent criminals. I'm trying to do DeSantis. So I was trying to do more of like a squeaky, speak with your throat, not your chest voice. But that actually sounded like kind of like a Trump voice. I've never tried to do Trump like that. Interesting. What's up, baby? We've already seen the disastrous role. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Tweeted spokesperson. Oh, that wasn't DeSantis talking anyway. That was spokesperson Andrew Romeo talking. So, another Trump update. I'll play a clip from the Meet the Press when I go take my bathroom break. I don't have it pulled up, actually. Oh, we have it right here. So, we have NBC News fact-checking the Meet the Press interview. I will play this for you guys while I go take a bathroom break real quick. Maybe we'll watch it for a little bit. We're not going to watch the full thing. We'll watch. Let's do this. Wednesday or Thursday, I'll do a gaming stream, and we will watch Tucker and Devin Archer full interview in its entirety, so we can build on what we're talking about here on the Monday show, because I don't have time to watch these full 1-hour interviews on the show tonight. We'll do a stream either Wednesday or Thursday night. I'll play some Mario, or I'll play some Final Fantasy or whatever, and we will watch the full Meet the Press interview, and we will watch the full Tucker and Devin Archer interview. Let's do that. But for now, I'll let you guys watch this for a minute, and then we're going to read NBC News Meet the Press fact-checking at least 11 points during the interview. Former President Donald Trump flubbed numbers, misstated facts, or omitted critical context. So we'll see what they said was his mistakes and his errors. I hope he didn't call any burgers a mile tall, because that's a lie. There ain't no burgers a mile tall. You guys can watch this. I will be right back. Where's the audio?
Why do you want to be president?
I'll be right back.
Well, it's a very simple answer, and I can give it very easily. It's called Make America Great Again. Our country is in serious trouble. I don't think we've ever been so low in terms of certainly opinion, world opinion, and country opinion. People are devastated. They look at what's happening with
Trump built 500 miles of border wall. I built 500 miles of border wall. Yeah, almost, it says. Almost, fact check, almost. It was 493 miles. He just rounded up. Shut up, NBC. This is so stupid. Is the media ignoring the war in Ukraine? No, I don't know. I don't know that he said that. Demonstrably false. Trump claimed the news is no longer reporting about the war. Yeah, I don't know why he would say that. I don't know. I need to watch the full interview. They don't report about the war anymore. You don't find much reporting. Not as much, but they do report about it a lot. But yeah, so some bogus fact checks. But that's it for the Trump dates. One is too many. Now let's get to some updates from past stories that we've done. We talked about Hurricane Lee last week. Apparently it did hit Canada. Remnants of Lee move over northern Atlantic after bringing fierce winds and coastal flooding to Canada and northeast U.S. We got some pictures here. So it hit where it was projected to hit. Meteorologists were right for once. Moving out over the ocean and away from Atlantic Canada on Monday after U.S. officials announced at least 2 deaths due to the storm. Wow. Only 1 death from Ian. Was it Ian? No, what was the one in Florida a couple weeks ago? I can't remember. But only 1 person died in that. 2 people died in this. This is the one that rapidly grew to a Category 5 faster than we've ever seen before. And then it quickly degraded back down to a Category 3. But they're saying that it was unprecedented how rapidly it exploded in power. And I suspect that maybe Bill Gates is playing with the God device with the HARP technologies. Cloud seeding a little too much. 2 deaths. So we got some pictures here. Took out a van. Driving death maybe. Some flooding in Canada. So there's your update on Hurricane Lee. Now we have another update on the spy balloon. It's been, 7 months? Update on the spy balloon. So this article from CBS News claims that the spy balloon, the bizarre secret behind China's spy balloon, was actually not a spy balloon at all. It actually was not, allegedly, according to the article. It was surely the most bizarre crisis of the Biden administration. America's top-of-the-line jet fighters being sent up to shoot down, of all things, a balloon. A Chinese spy balloon that was floating across the United States, which had the nation and its politicians in a tizzy. Now, 7 months later, General Mark Milley, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, tells CBS News Sunday morning the balloon wasn't spying. The intelligence community and their assessment and its high confidence assessment is that there was no intelligence collection by that balloon, he said. So why was it over the United States? There are various theories, which at least one leading theory that it was blown off track. Now, but it was being sent out to monitor Hawaii. Huh. Why is China sending balloons to monitor Hawaii? And then 7 months later, we have strange weather in Hawaii and strange fires in Hawaii. Kind of interesting. Some people who believe in Atlantis think it sank into the ocean because they were manipulating the weather with crystal energy. Huh. The balloon had been headed toward Hawaii. Why is China see, they say 7 months later it did not collect any information, but why is China sending balloons to Hawaii that get blown off course and go to Alaska? Balloon floated over Alaska and Canada and then down over the lower 48s to Billings, Montana, where photographer Chase Doak, who studied photojournalism in college, recorded it from his driveway. There's the balloon. Then it tells us about how they shot it down. The only big epiphany in this article is that allegedly this thing was not collecting any information. So it wasn't actually a spy balloon. I mean, it doesn't really tell you about what it was. After the Navy raised the records from the bottom of the Atlantic, technical experts discovered the balloon sensor had never been activated while over the continental United States. But by then, the damage to U.S.-China relations had been done. President Biden remarked the silly balloon that was carrying 2 freight cars worth of spying equipment was flying over the United States, and it got shot down, and everything changed in terms of talking to one another. So it was a spy balloon, but it wasn't activated, and it was supposed to be spying on Hawaii, but instead it got blown off course. Is China trying to acquire Hawaii? What's going on? I know the Hawaiians don't want to be part of America. They hate America. Do they want to be Chinese? Maybe China takes over Taiwan and Hawaii. Or takes back Taiwan, whatever. Who knows? But we'll keep our eye on it if there's any more. I doubt there would be more spy balloon stories coming out, but I just thought that was interesting. A little update on the spy balloon. We have an update on Daniello Cavalcante, the escaped prisoner from Pennsylvania. He was captured. He has been captured. From jailbreak to capture, what went right and wrong in the search for escaped Pennsylvania inmate. Let's just watch the article so I don't have to read. Oh, there's going to be an ad, though.
Finally, there's a...
The escaped convicted murderer Danielle Cavalcanti and the nearly 2-week manhunt leading to his capture thrust Pennsylvania authorities under a glaring spotlight. Let's get this ad play, and then I'll just play the article so I can take a break from reading. And while I let that ad play, guys, hit the like button if you're here on Rumble. Hit that like button up. Follow the channel. Give me some follows. That stuff is free. Helps me out. I got 90-day ban from streaming on YouTube for showing the UFC fights like an idiot. And I got demonetized. And so, yeah. So we're hanging out on Rumble for 90 days. Thank you guys for coming by. Just hit that follow. Hit that like button. If you don't have a Rumble account and you're just lurking, make an account. Help out Rumble, man. Let's show some support for Rumble, for being the home for the wayward content creators. I make videos on YouTube. Still go check out the YouTube. I'm not telling people to leave the YouTube because I'm going to get my monetization back. I'm going to clear all the edgy stuff off the channel and keep doing my videos there. And I got a camping video coming soon. It's like 3/4 of the way edited. I got to finish editing it, put the music in. We'll have a long camping video coming soon with rock climbing, fishing, making some good pot roast that I made in the woods. Oh, it was so good. Backflipping off of logs. Camping video coming. Once the YouTube channel hits 5,000 subscribers, we're cutting off these dreadlocks. That's going to be a crazy video. Cutting off 11-year-old dreadlocks. Shorts, all that stuff on youtube.com/jsurbanadventures. Go check out the YouTube channel if you're over here on Rumble. But make you an account, follow the channel, hit the like button. While we're on Rumble, we'll still do the Dreaded Conservative show on Monday nights, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern over here on Rumble. But we're going to have videos going up on YouTube. You know, I want to do an urban camping video. Go pretend to be hobo again. I got a lot of old videos of when I was a hobo. Lots of cool stuff on the YouTube. JS Urban Adventures. Just search it on YouTube. You'll find me. JS Urban Adventures. Go check out the YouTube. But guys, let's play this article. Also, if you want to send money and help the show out, send it to the Cash App right here. I can't get super chats on YouTube anymore. I can't get memberships on YouTube anymore. All my 7 members are getting screwed. They paid money for memberships. Lord Bibby gifting people memberships, and then they demonetize me. So now they don't even get their membership benefits. But if you guys want to monetarily support the show, Cash App, $, Dreaded Conservative. One word, spelled how white people spell stuff correctly. Dreaded Conservative. Let's play the video.
He clearly has had these stashes while he's hiding out, but you can, and so on, overnight.
Speaking of Danilo Cavalcante, he is live pictures. This is the first we are all seeing of Danilo Cavalcante. He is in custody. John, walk us through what you see here.
I see a SWAT team, which is probably the people who took him into custody.
I see the military. That's a
and
SWAT
I see
team.
a guy who has a change of clothes that we're not familiar with, which is a new sweatshirt and a dark pair of pants. There were reports that
dreadlocks.
a backpack was found overnight that had things in it, clothing items and so
that's
on,
a
that
SWAT
may have
team?
been
That
his.
looks like National
Is that
Guard or something.
possibly what spurred them into a certain area? But he has been doing these kind of home invasions and burglaries and garage, siftings, trying to find different outfits to keep changing his appearance. And, our last reporting was he was shirtless. So he clearly...
Not smart. I don't know why they didn't find the stolen van that he's took. They didn't even find out about the van for like a week. I would have already been in Mexico. I would have just drove that van to Mexico. I wouldn't have crossed in the van. I would have ditched the van. I would have kept my ear to the news. And as soon as I find out about the van, that they know about the van, ditch the van, get to Mexico, bro. What the heck? Why are you going through people's garages to get clothes? Just get to Mexico.
Clearly has had these stashes while he's hiding out, but you can tell even as he's walking, he's a guy who's worn down from this flight.
All right. So they caught the guy. That's your update on that story. And I think that's it for all the updates. Let's see. We got some climate news. We got some geopolitics with North Korea. Let's get to this story. We'll go quick on this story. You guys remember these work trends? Remember they had the quiet quitters? The quiet quitters trends is these liberals who don't want to work. They have to go to their job and they become quiet quitters, where they quietly just passive aggressively stop doing work. And then you had loud laborers. Well, we got a new one. It's called bore-out, a new workplace trend. This is so stupid. New job trend, bore-out, is harming bore-out is harming American workplaces. Here's how to fix it. First, it was quiet quitters. Then it was loud laborers. Now American companies are dealing with another employee trend called bore-out. The term describes a situation in which workers are bored, unengaged, and unfulfilled in their jobs. Okay, if you're a grown man and you ever say you're bored or I'm bored, then you're not doing manhood right. You're not being a man right. Men don't have time to be bored. There's always something you can do. Train your mind, train your body, go get another job, read a book, do something. There's always something to do. You should not have time as a man to be bored. So when I first read this, I figured it was a bunch of liberal women, but apparently it's 18 to 35-year-old men. And, we've talked about how men are being feminized and becoming weaker and weaker. Bore-out is a phenomenon among employees defined as chronic boredom. The experience that one's work is pointless, said Peggy Claus. I mean, your job probably is pointless, said Peggy Claus, a communications and leadership expert with Klaus and Associates in Santa Fe, New Mexico. The result is employee stress, lethargy, lower creativity and productivity, an increase in physical and mental health problems, high staff turnover, and early retirement. But it's allegedly from 18 to 35-year-old men. So in the past, people who did the bare minimum at work were pegged. What the heck? Were pegged as lazy. I don't like that word pegged. My phone just died. Today, the same situation is called quiet quitting, she said. I see bore-out and quiet quitting as the same thing, she said. Oh, I got hiccups from the nicotine pack. Yeah. The demographic most impacted by the concept is male in the age range of 18 to 35. The number of factors contributed, she said. So, just men being beta males.
Beta!
If you got a problem with bore-out at work, maybe you need another job. Maybe go get another job, but don't sit there and be, oh, I'm bored. God, I have hiccups. This is nicotine pack. I've been doing good on not smoking. Not totally quit or anything like that, but I've been using these pouches, smoking much less. Whereas a pack used to last me a day or two, I'm making a pack last me 4 or 5 days. So we're getting there. We're doing better. Haven't smoked a cigarette for the whole show. Trying not to smoke in the room anymore. But yeah, so try not to smoke on the streams. Eventually try not to smoke at all. But yeah, if you're a man and you're complaining about work bore out, then
I am not gay. I have relationships with women and sex with men.
And I got news for you.
That means
you're gay.
Yep. All right. Enough of that story. What else we got? We got geopolitics. North Korean leader, this is from CNN. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un gifted bulletproof vests and drones as he leaves Russia. I don't want to wait for the ads on this.
Unlimited 1.5.
I'll just read this. North Korea leader Kim Jong-un received body armor and drones as parting gifts while wrapping up a trip to Russia that has alarmed the West over the potential for military cooperation between Moscow and Pyongyang. The send-off capped a rare 6-day visit that saw Kim hold talks with his Russian counterparts Vladimir Putin, raising the possibility North Korea could provide Russia with weaponry to aid its invasion of Ukraine. On Sunday, Kim left the eastern city of Vladivostok, where he inspected warplanes, toured an airfield, and visited the Pacific Fleet frigate to return to Pyongyang in his heavily armored private train following a grand farewell ceremony. Russia and North Korea state media reported. Is this going to show me an ad?
Mornings can be hard.
I don't like the ads. Let's see this.
Significant this trip may prove. Back in Pyongyang, at least, they looked euphoric ahead of Kim's first trip abroad in 4 years. But even behind the forced grins, North Korea's strongman must be genuinely smiling at what Moscow could offer in exchange for the ammunition it now so badly needs.
Some Satan nukes. They got the Satan nukes. Developing story.
Russia's brutal conflict in Ukraine has become a grinding war of attrition, which may well be decided by which side can sustain.
That's the Snowpiercer. They got the Snowpiercer ready because they know we're going to freeze up the atmosphere and everybody's going to die unless you're on the Snowpiercer.
In almost constant pounding on the front lines. A big North Korean arms deal would bolster Moscow and strike a blow to Ukraine and its allies. North Korea, of course, has its own terrifying military ambitions, with Russia, it seems, increasingly
Look at that big fake nuke
at its side. President Putin hasn't ruled out a planned face-to-face meeting with Kim Jong-un at a strategic Russian launch site, the Vostochny Cosmodrome. When I get there, you'll know, he said. It's all fueling suspicions that Russian technical know-how, which could advance North Korea's own missile program, is on the table.
All right, enough of that. So Russia and Korea, no bueno, no bueno, no bueno. There's just a little World War III news for you. We'll talk about B.R.I.C.S later, which is a bunch of our other enemies getting together. Dang it, chair. Chair is broken for sure. Chair is broken. The chair. We need a new chair. If anybody wants to send me a new chair, hit it up. Hit up the Cash App so I can buy a new chair. Shout out DJ on Paul. He sent me a Cash App after the stream on Saturday night. Thank you for that, DJ on Paul. Shout out. Freddie sent me the $2 that he owed me from the fight bets that we made. We got climate change news. Apparently, climate change is unburying graves. From USA Today. Climate change is unburying graves. It is an expensive, traumatic, confounding problem. They're not going to let me read the article, but you can see the picture here. I'm not going to play the clip. We're not going to spend much time on this, but severe weather caused by climate change threatening cemetery graves across America. The zombies are rising up due to the climate change now. When the zombie apocalypse happens, it's going to be because of climate change, because water flooded in, and all the zombies started coming out of their graves. What the heck? A delicate hand points heavenward on the. Oh, I'm not going to read this. So I guess rain, storms, summer rain, climate change is digging up graves. Meanwhile, in New York, tens of thousands of people are protesting climate change. Tens of thousands marched to kick off climate summit, demanding end to warming causing fossil fuels. End the fossil fuels. I guess they didn't get the memo that fossil fuels are actually completely renewable and that's just the lifeblood of Earth. They're not actually from fossilized dinosaur remains. A
connection to the road.
I didn't mean to click that.
Road.
I don't want to hear that.
There isn't one.
It's not going to let me. It's not going to let me just play it. New York yelling that the future and their lives depend on ending fossil fuels. Tens of thousands of protesters Sunday kicked off a week where leaders will try once again to curb climate change, primarily caused by coal, oil, and natural gas. But protesters say it's not going to be enough, and they aimed their wrath directly at U.S. President Joe Biden. Hey, that's kind of based, urging him to stop approving new oil and gas projects, phase out current ones, and declare a climate emergency with larger executive powers. We hold the power of the people, the power you need to win this election, said 17-year-old. Of course, it's a 17-year-old Emma. Like, these kids know all about climate. They're climate scientists of Brooklyn, of the youth protest group Fridays for Future. Probably like this Sunrise Movement, these youth protest groups where they infiltrate the schools and they teach young kids to march down the hallways with signs, and they teach kids to go out and protest this climate stuff and this racial injustice. Bunch of bullcrap, indoctrinating the kids. Get your kids out of public schools if they're in there. It's a mess. If you want to win by 2024, if you do not want the blood of my generation to be on your hands, end fossil fuels. I wonder if she's autistic too. They like to use mentally handicapped children as their spokespeople. The march to end fossil fuels featured such politicians as Representative AOC, actors Suzanne Sarandon, Ethan Hawke, Edward Norton. Edward Norton? Our boy from American History X is a dang tree hugger. Oh, man. Kira Sedgwick and Kevin Bacon. Don't tell me, Kevin. I am not associated to him through any degrees of Kevin Bacon. Just saying. Real action on Broadway was where protesters crowded the street pleading for a better, not so hot future. It was the opening salvo to New York Climate Week, where the world leaders in business, politics, and arts gathered to try to save the planet, highlighted by a new special United Nations. So tens of thousands of kids, once again using the children, indoctrinating the children, using them to push the message. Not surprised. Not surprised. This is rapid fire news. We're supposed to be going quickly through these. So we got two more stories. Elliot Page.
It's a man, baby.
No. Seems like a good idea, the 36-year-old Oscar nominee tells EW. And again, it's sort of unusual aspect of being only blah, 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 blah. I don't want to read this. Oh, clap, clap. Bravo. Bravo. Gay! That means you're gay.
Beta!
All right. Last story. So I guess a man in LA, an officer, was ambushed and killed. Let's just play this. Let's just play this article. And I think the suspect has been caught. So I didn't report on this because it happened midweek. But I think the suspect has been caught. Let's go here. Let's watch this report. I don't know a whole lot about this.
Here's Dana Griffin. Tonight, the manhunt for a suspected cop killer is over. SWAT teams arresting 29-year-old Kevin Cataneo Salazar in an early morning raid following an hours-long standoff.
For right now, we believe we have the murderer of our deputy in custody.
Authorities saying they recovered multiple firearms and detained the suspect at a home he shared with his parents in Palmdale, less than 5 miles from the sheriff's station, where 30-year-old Deputy Ryan Klinkenbroomer was shot and killed Saturday as he pulled up to a red light in his patrol vehicle. Surveillance video from the sheriff's station's own camera capturing the moment the suspect vehicle stops next to the officers, then takes off.
Honestly, it's really upsetting.
Tonight, the suspect's family says he had been placed on multiple 72-hour psychiatric own camera capturing the moment the suspect vehicle stops next to the officers, then takes off.
Wow, honestly, it's really...
So he just pulled up while the cop was in the middle of traffic and blasted him? That's crazy. Yeah, what's the motive? Just he hates cops or what? Maybe he was radicalized by BLM and the defund the police movement.
Upsetting.
Tonight, the suspect's family says he had been placed on multiple 72-hour psychiatric holds.
He was mentally ill. He heard voices. We tried to help him.
The family would not confirm how he obtained the firearm, as investigators now work to determine
what types of medications did you put him on, Mama? I wonder.
Determine a motive for the murder. Is there anything about him or that you've discovered as to why this happened?
That's the million-dollar question. Everybody wants to know, why would somebody do something this horrible? And we intend to find out.
Deputy Klinkenbroomer, engaged to be married just days ago, leaves behind a grieving family and community trying to comprehend this senseless tragedy. Dana Griffin, NBC News.
Well, at least they caught the scumbag, so he got caught. It would be interesting to find out what the motives were, but he's probably just crazy. He probably hated cops. Maybe it was a gang initiation thing. All we can do is, conjecture. Gang initiation thing. Maybe he was radicalized by the BLM and the, ACAB movements and all that crap. Maybe he's a little Antifa punk. Whatever. He's going to jail. He's going to be singing, Palmdale, come back to me. I need you and I love you, baby. Y'all know what I'm singing? Just like bums, we used to stay in the slums of LA. By the way, gangbangers killing each other for reps, selling rock cocaine on my doorsteps. Had a ball to bounce and a bike to ride, but my mama never would let me play outside. I can't remember where he says next. That's Afro Man. That's Afro Man, Palmdale. If you don't know Afro Man Palmdale, then, you're slacking. You're slacking on your hip-hop knowledge. Okay. That's it for all the news. The news is over. The news is over. Now, I'm getting kind of read out. I read that whole freaking summary of the Burisma stuff. I've been doing a lot of reading in this stream. I didn't put together a lot of clips because my eyes were still hurting a little bit. Yes. I got to end the recording because we're watching stuff on Rumble that we can't play on YouTube because it'll get copyright strike because it's got music like do-do-do-do-do-do. So I'm going to end the YouTube recording. All of the B.R.I.C.S research is Rumble exclusive. You can catch the live shows on Rumble. Same time as always, Dreaded Conservative Show, Monday night, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, that's rumble.com/user/TheDreadedConservative, one word. So go check me out on Rumble, YouTube. But the B.R.I.C.S stuff is going to be exclusive for the Rumble. So I'm going to end the recording right now. Watch the video, watch the playlist, like, subscribe, comment, share, all the good stuff. All right. Deuces.